Beautiful. I think lovely if you've got the purple opal. Also really nice if you've got any of that kit, maybe the spinel, that would look beautiful with it as well.
Everything goes with that.
Yeah.
It looks amazing with everything. So, yeah.
Nice, really lovely. Right, we are going to go for a short break. When we return, we've got the opal. We've got lots more. Please check your baskets out. Make sure you get that charm, and we'll see you all in a mo. Good morning, jewellery makers. How are you? Lovely to have your company. We're back. We're back. I was about to say suitably refreshed, but actually I'm a bit sleepy today. Don't worry, I'll come too, because I'm joined by this gorgeous lady. It's the one, the only Fleur, everyone. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Flame-haired temptress that you are.
You're never going to let that go, are you?
Never.
Never.
Never. I think that's that one you should be holding on to.
Yeah, I might have a t-shirt, mate.
Yes.
Put it on a t-shirt.
I think that's a really good idea. Flame-haired temptress. Yeah. Can you model it first here, though, please?
Yes, yeah.
All that chain mail coming your way. Amazing. The first kit is, oh my goodness, so beautiful. Would you agree, Fleur? One of the most beautiful kits.
It is one of the most beautiful kits, and I've never worked with this colour of jump ring before, and seed beads. Never worked with them before.
So a little bit of a sort of treat, a little bit of a sneaky peek at what's coming up. You will adore it. It's amazing design and combination of gemstones. We also have got amazing brand new ins coming your way. We've got brand new weave in your chain mail to show you. Well, not me personally, the lovely Fleur is going to be showing you that. What's it called, Fleur?
Dragon steps.
Dragon steps. I was going to call it dragon's feet.
No,
I would have been close, wouldn't I? Dragon
Close.
steps. So we're learning how to do that in the first kit as well.
Yeah.
So very exciting, and it looks stunning, the end result. So make sure you do stay tuned if you are a chain mail lover. And loads of opportunities coming your way. This, however, is more limited. So just to give you a little bit of a heads up, when they first appeared on your screens, flew. I don't think for 1 second that we've got a huge quantity of them remaining. Now we've had them in a lot of different gemstones, but this, you know I'm a green girl, I love green gemstones. It is just stunning aventurine, which to me, if you think about the shape of this charm, I start thinking about sort of medieval powers and things like that. Aventurine has got kind of like a glow, an internal glow. So this you'll absolutely adore. I don't know if Fleur's seen these as of yet. They've only been on your screens once previously. You are getting 3 of these. 3 of the charms. In fact, I'm going to suspend them all so you can actually see every single one that you're getting. How beautifully polished and faceted they are. They're 29 by 8 millimeters. You have got that graduation, as you can see here as well. Totally and utterly natural green aventurine charms. Look at those in solid 925 sterling silver. I absolutely adore these, and Martha has given me a little bit of a heads up on where these are going to. 60 carats in total. I mean, I would pay what we are about to show you on your screens, and then some, to be honest, for just one. For just one. Let me just show you the actual jump ring. Can you see that? Stamped 925. I've got one of those which is on ever so slightly skew-if, but yeah, that's how it actually falls. The one on the end. Beautiful cascade. They're lovely, aren't they, Fleur?
They're beautiful. Really
is it just me that thinks they're sort of medieval?
No, they do look like they could work really beautifully in a chainmail design. Yeah. Because it just sits so gorgeous. So on the end of your pendant or something like that. Or just on, even if you're not into chainmail, just on a long piece of leather or a long piece of cord.
Well, yeah, I'm really big into sort of 32-inch necklaces at the moment. So get something which is a little bit more heavy duty and just where it sits just below the bust line. Yeah. One of these just suspended there would look lovely.
Beautiful. Really lovely.
Really lovely. Not just on a bracelet or a charm bracelet. I mean, these are sizable enough to certainly carry their own like so. Beautiful. And you are getting all three. All three of them, wonderful markings. You can see that internal glow that I was referring to. Totally and utterly natural. Those of you that are wondering what adventurine is, it is a member of the quartz family. As we know, quartz is a gemstone which does form in quite obscure and rough crystals. So the actual crystal structure of a quartz is quite diverse. Why am I saying this? Well, because that means that the actual mineral itself can absorb lots of wonderful sort of impurities, if you like, colouring agents as well, and really hold on to those colours. So aventurine has got one of those fascinating, rich, forest green tones, and as I said, that sort of stems back from the fact that this gemstone is connected, well, it is a member of the quartz family. It's relatively durable as well. It's up there on the Mohs scale, not too far behind your tanzanite, of course, 6.5 on the Mohs scale, so very, very, very wearable. I absolutely adore it for its similarities right now on your screen for emerald, don't you think? It looks distinctly similar. Yeah, absolutely. Fleur's just pointed to an emerald strand that we have got coming up literally in a few moments time, so make sure you do stay tuned, which it looks almost identical, doesn't it?
It really does, and they work beautifully in this first kit.
Yeah,
really beautiful,
amazing with the first kit. So do us a favour, take mine and Fleur's word for it. If you love these, get it home and place your order now, because we haven't got enough of them to go around, and I guarantee you'll want to get the kit with them as well, because it's just a combination which is going to go absolutely beautifully. This is what I was referring to though. I would pay that and then some for just one of these gorgeous charms. £8.95, Fleur.
For all three?
For all three.
Wow.
I know, isn't that amazing?
That is amazing, yeah, because for me, that's one for me, one to sell and one was a gift.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
How I always see things like that when they're in threes.
Absolutely. Or, you know, if you've got 3 daughters, or you've got 3 best friends, or 3 sisters, or your mum, your daughter and yourself, whichever. I mean, you might be looking at these thinking, yeah, that's a lovely idea. We all instantaneously think of something. Yeah. £8.95 though, that's fantastic as a price point. Lots of you multi-buying. Well done to you, Kent. Hello to you, John and Janet. It is silver plate on brass. Silver plated brass on the graphics, it says there, so nice and sturdy. Sorry, I think that was my fault. I think I actually said that it was £9.25. If I did, I do apologise. Silver plated brass, I beg your pardon, and it's 60 carats in total. Elaine in Northamptonshire, Sally, well done. Barbara, Sharon, Katrina, lovely to be with you. Kent, Paula in Ireland, hello to you, John and Janet. Cassandra and Kathy in Treharris, hello to you. Madeleine in Yorkshire, nice to be with you. I only wish I had a bigger quantity, and like I said, I would just be taking one of these, and if you can just imagine, I know you're not going to see it now, well you kind of can, sort of 32 inch, or that said, how about, bear with me, look, yeah, live television, I'm making you a piece of jewellery. Oh look.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Stunning, isn't it?
That is
this
really
chain's
nice.
coming up a little bit later as well, and it's going under £10. So this look is under £13. Wow, 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 wow. Under £13 for this look. Again, who wouldn't love this?
That would be going in my present drawer, in a little organza bag or a little velvet bag. Everybody's got a little present cupboard or present drawer. That would be going in there, because I know all of my friends and all the females in my family would absolutely adore that. Yeah,
well, and like I said, the chain's coming up a little bit later. It's that little bit heavier chain as well. You'll notice the dimensions are that bit bigger. I'll talk about that some more during that opportunity, but I'd be multi-buying on that, given the fact that you need to get, potentially, I'm not saying you absolutely have to, but 3 to go with your with the pendants that you're getting. I mean, they do. Whilst they say charms on your graphics, these to me are pendants.
They are. To me, they're pendants as well. Yeah. To me, they're definitely pendants. But you could make them into earrings. You could make a pair of earrings and a pendant.
Can I turn it that way so you can actually see just how, Martha's word, fat this gemstone is? It is though, isn't it? It's lovely. It's got a lovely width. The dimensions are very accurate. It's beautifully polished. Again, loads of you there. Well done. Do check out though, Maxine and Madeline. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Stay where you are. This morning we are going to tempt you. There's loads of goodies coming your way, including that chain, by the way. Last in stock of diamonds coming up right now. I'm going to pop that by there. These are our Christmas diamonds. So we launched these just before Christmas, or was it just after? They're huge. Look at the size of these diamonds.
And sparkly.
9 carats of diamonds. New Year's Day, beg your pardon. Oh, it was with me. It was me. I launched these with our lovely Kimbo. I know where we're taking it to. There are 22 remaining. We started off with hundreds. We started off with, Martha, it's uncanny, my memory, when it comes to sort of strands. When I see a strand that I really love, it will stick with me. The prices I remember clear as day. Martha was just saying, gosh, your memory. You did say this price to me, Elle. Yeah, absolutely. Wait till you see it, folks. I launched it on New Year's Day. If you weren't able to tune in on New Year's Day, don't worry. Here's your opportunity, but there are just 22 left. It is single-handedly the most affordable, the most inexpensive black diamonds strand that I have ever, not just brought you myself, but ever seen. Guaranteed under £20, but they are big, substantial diamonds. 5x2mm. I mean, you can see just the dimensions deliberately left in their rough nugget form. It's got a massive celebrity following, rough diamonds, given the fact that it's just another angle, I suppose, and when they've got sort of endless budgets, haven't they? No. Maybe not endless, but certainly a lot more than mine. They can invest in whatever shape of diamonds that they choose. This is what is hot on the Hollywood and celebrity, I don't know, agenda right now. Yes, absolutely. Rihanna, Alicia Keys have both been pictured wearing black diamonds, rough black diamonds. Anyway, I've totally diverse. What I should be talking about right now is not the fact that it's all about the celebrities. To be honest, who cares? It's what you like. It's what you think is beautiful. And it's, if you're anything like myself, and I know Fleur as well, you're after a savvy deal. Multi-buyers, well done. I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to bring you 9 carats of diamonds at this price tag ever again. It's doubtful, absolutely. Martha's saying, yeah, doubtful to me in my ear. I totally concur with that. It'd be too euphoric. Under £20. I can remember when we launched diamonds here at Jewellery Maker and we were delighted with a 3-figured price tag. £17.95. It's a... What can we say, Fleur? There's nothing else to say to that, is there?
There isn't. For diamonds. And I'd be taking the middle one and I'd pop that on a featherweight head pin and I'd pop it on that silver chain. Yeah. And I'd have a really simple diamond and silver necklace that's taken minutes to create but would be worth a lot. Oh, and for me as well, because I'd wear that every day because I like simple jewellery.
I do as well. I do as well. I totally agree. Yeah, and I would be selfish with this as well. You know, I would be making sure certainly that I commission something for myself, like you say, with relative ease. I've got the final 15 though, that's it. I highly doubt this is going to be on your screen ever again. You have got that extended money back guarantee, don't forget. Totally and utterly risk free. Zara, Glamorgan, Pat, Elizabeth, Somerset, Elaine, Christine, multi-buy if you like. You know, we're not restricting you here at all. If you want to buy 10 of these, you can. It just means they're sold out a lot quicker. Fiona's with me. Hello to you, Fiona. Hello to you, Dawn, in Manchester. Belinda, you've just bought 2 of these along with Pat and along with Elaine. Catherine, congratulations to you as well. You could create a very sort of Sex and the City Carrie Bradshaw-esque diamond necklace piece where she wore some, I'm sure they were rough diamonds. It was approximately an inch attached to some chain either side. Rough gemstones, and I'm sure they were diamonds. And yeah, I mean, it was bought to her by her very wealthy Russian boyfriend. Which she consequently went on and broke, but beautiful and very, very easy to replicate that. Sold out, gone, well done. Congratulations to every single one of you. Now, if you were lucky enough to get hold of these on the weekend, just before we get into the kit, which you'll love, by the way, arguably one of the most expensive and desired of the pearls is your black pearl. Now, maybe that's because of the connections to a Tahitian pearl, because you start getting those sort of inky, steely colours, or I don't know, just because they're maybe a little bit more contemporary, similarly to your black diamonds. But what deciphers the main value of a pearl is its size. Well, you can see that here. It's a 6mm gauge round. Its smoothness on the exterior, the nacre surface, its orient, which is how reflective the pearl is, and also, let me get this, the wonderful colour. Now, and its shape, sorry, that's what I wanted to refer to you at. Let me just pick up one of these. You do get a pair, so there's 2 in total. Look at how uniformed and spherical, it says on our graphics, this beautiful, beautiful half-drilled pearl is. Absolutely flawless nacre surface. I'm just showing you one. I'll pick up both, and there's not a particular side or any area that I want to that I'm showing you above any other. I'll deliberately rotate it round so you can really scrutinize the quality and the consistency. I mean, it is a flawless pearl, or I should say they are flawless pearls. Half drilled, so very easy to create the most amazing pearl stud earrings, or even have it commissioned into an amazing piece of jewellery. The last piece of jewellery that I bought from our sister channels was actually a black pearl. It was Nicoya black pearl, which is famed in terms of a location for producing some of the world's finest, because of just how uniform those shapes are. Now, I don't know if this is a Nicoya pearl, but that doesn't really matter. The country of origin is not what determines the value. It's the quality and the consistency, and like I said, all of those factors previously. Just look how flawless the shape is of this wonderful black pearl. Look at that gorgeous colour. If you think about a black gemstone, whether it be pearl, whether it be diamonds, whether it be spinel, you know, you think of, right, definite black, that's it. You're not going to see much else beyond that very distinctive colour. Quite the contrary, in actual fact, with a pearl, it's of this calibre and grade, because it is so flawlessly smooth. And let me just swap this over so you can see the other one as well. Because it is so flawlessly smooth and unblemished, you can actually see the reflections of our studio. Lauren, before me, I'm sure we can pick you out in this pearl, to be honest. The lights in the studio, most certainly. Now, we haven't brought the price onto your screen, but believe me, you're going to want to be there. I have got quantity. It's not a limited opportunity, but when you see the consistency and given the knowledge that our wonderful Jewellery Maker customers actually have, without question, it is going to be a big, big, big seller of the day. I mean, Fleur, we see pearls on a daily basis, don't we? We are very lucky and blessed to be able to sort of experience such gemstones regularly. But I don't experience pearls like this every day. Do you agree?
Absolutely. I don't think I've ever seen a pure round pearl in real life. It's in a very, very high-end jeweller's window, and I haven't been that close to it. It's been through glass, and I can see that they are completely perfect.
Yeah, well, you know, as an organic gemstone, it's expected to have, you know, a little bit of, I don't want to say deformities, because I think that sounds like it's a negative, and it's not always a negative. But you know, the more perfectly round it is, the more valuable a pearl is. That's why we were going back to talking about that, the pair of earrings, those black pearls and white pearl earrings that were millions of pounds, weren't they? Yeah. Yes, okay, it had royal connections, etc., but the quality of the gemstones did actually have to be there. Now, I'm not saying that this is valued at that, but what I will give you is just an unfathomable price point for the quality, for the beauty, for the sheer, I know Fleur's head quickly whipped round.
Is that right?
$4.95.
But they're perfect rounds.
I know.
And they're drilled.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Martha's asking, how quickly could you make a pair of earrings out of these?
Oh, within seconds. Within seconds. All you'd need is your, I personally would use hyper cement glue with your precision tip to it, the nozzle, and then a pair of half-drilled earring findings or pendant bail. If you don't have those in your stash and you've got some 0.6 sterling silver wire, you can just glue one end in and then make a wrap loop onto the top. So you don't even have to have the findings that go with them. If you've got, I personally would use sterling silver with them.
Me too.
Because then I think the value there is, you know, it's made an heirloom piece rather than a fashion piece.
I mean, I know I said it just a few moments ago, but we do see pearls regularly, but I do not see pearls like this every single day.
And they're perfect earring size.
They are,
for me, they are a pair of earrings because they are perfect earring size.
There is absolutely nothing I would change about this pearl.
No, nothing.
Absolutely nothing. You know, the shape is perfect. The fact that it's just, you know, it's blemish free. It's like the supermodel of all pearls, isn't it? It's just stunning.
I mean, I love pearls, and I know we did that pearl course last week, and I did a lot of research, and I found in a book that it said pearls have no man. You know, men don't have to make pearls beautiful. They come out beautiful.
Yeah.
So they don't have to be cut or polished or faceted. They are just as nature intended.
Just as nature intended. I love that. Yeah. I love that. Liz in Kent has said, "What? Martha, I'll be late for work if you keep doing this." They are lovely, aren't they? I totally agree. Sharon, please bring first kit. Got to go to do school run. Okay. Right now, Sharon, we're on it. Just for you, my darling. Just for you. I'll put the pearls at the bottom of the screen. Excuse me. Now, come on then, Sharon, let's go over here. And everybody else. And everybody else. I'm not willing to part with those pearls just yet. I'm going to pop them right by there. Yeah, you carry on, my lovely, whilst I show everybody all of your gorgeous, gorgeous pieces. Now, first kit. Now, it is medieval makes. Of course, it is your wonderful, wonderful chain mail. Now, it's a brand new colour for you, Fleur, isn't it? For me.
I don't know if they've been seen before, but I've never worked with them before, this colour.
The overall look, can I just literally move that for 1 second? I'll move it back then. You are getting 3 different types of your jump rings. You've got 5mm, 6mm, and also your 7mm. If I just lean that up ever so slightly so you can actually see all the different sizes. There we go. And also you've got your little head pins, which I've never seen in this colour either. And they are 45mm, but also you do get these stunning spacer beads. They're kind of like a chocolatey colour, aren't they?
They match perfectly.
They do,
Everything's
absolutely
just been
perfectly.
put together so beautifully. Yeah, they're fabulous. Now, I've used quite a few and I've still looks like I've not used it any.
It doesn't look like you've dented it at all.
No.
And what size are those? Are they the 4mm? Very large drill holes, so perfect for your chain mail. You can use it with your jump rings, and you've incorporated it into your chain mail.
Yeah, so you can put them into your chain mail as well. They fit onto the jump rings perfectly.
Yeah, absolutely adorable colours. 4mm, yeah, absolutely. 700 within that tube, so it does. I mean, we always refer to them as bottomless. They're not bottomless, but they do seem to go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. And when you see the piece, the new link that you're going to be demoing, Fleur, as well. So Sharon, the kids might just have to be 5 minutes late. 5 minutes. Hold on, kids. Have you already got yours, Sharon? Well done, well done. We've got the amazing gemstones coming up as well. Beautiful combination. I mean, how often do you see peridot, emerald, and pearls like this, in that shape, in a kit? Absolutely love it. Now, there's 75 of these available. Should be, if you were to buy them all separately, individual components off our website. Never mind £36.75. It's already an amazing deal for and we always talk about the quality of our jump rings. £27.95. How many in total jump rings have we got here? 750.
Is there?
Is there 750? Did you say? 250 of each. 5mm, 6mm, and 7mm, and then you've got 600 of your spacer beads. Gosh, sorry, 700, and then 100 head pins. That's going to go a long way, isn't it?
And your spacer beads work as your crimp covers as well. And your head pins work as your clasps, so everything matches. So it's a perfectly put together kit, this. Perfect.
You don't need anything else, is that what you're saying?
No, nothing else. No, I've not used any, the only other findings I've used are earring findings, 2 pairs of earring findings, but I could have quite easily made earring findings from the head pins as well.
I've just looked at that as well, because Fleur, I mean, I've not seen head pins. I mean, I have seen head pins, I suppose, used in rosary links and things like that, but not very often as a clasp, and they work really well.
They do, and you can hammer them as well to work hard on them, and I wore that piece and it didn't pull out of shape. And those pearls, because they're big pearls, they're heavy, and it carries the weight absolutely brilliantly. It's a wonderful kit. Wonderful. And
what I'm going to do, this is amazing, I'm going to just turn it round ever so slightly. Incredible. Show you the chain mail piece as well, because this is called, what's the style of this link?
This one, that's a Byzantine, so that's your Celtic square in the middle.
Celtic square.
And then you've got 2 Romanov links at the top.
Romanov links, and these are called?
That one's Dragon Steps, that little one there, that's the one we're going to do.
That's what we're going to be demonstrating.
And this one's Dragon Back. Because it was medieval, I wanted to go all dragon-y.
I love that. Were you watching How to Train a Dragon at the time?
No, but I was watching Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings.
Although it's not medieval, it's still...
It kind of is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. I love How to Train a Dragon.
I like the second one as well.
Mate, really, really cute. So we're going to be learning about dragon steps.
Dragon steps.
There's gemstones are coming up in a few minutes' time, but before that, let's get into this brand new demonstration, Fleur. So why is it that we've not seen this one? Is it a new one that you've learnt?
No, I learnt this weave about 3 years ago, and I was going through my jewellery box, and when I say jewellery box, it's like a cavern. And it was at the bottom, and I thought, hang on a minute, I've not done that one yet. And so I thought, I wonder if I can do it in 5mm and 7mm jump rings. And yeah, I can. And if you pick it up, if you remember the watch straps, do you know when you get a watch, a nice watch, it's got like a watch strap and it's quite rigid.
Yeah.
It sits beautifully. It's just like that. It's just the most beautiful.
It really does.
It's a really lovely weave, and it is simple. It is really simple to do.
So this is Dragon Step.
Dragon Steps.
It does look very complex, just because looks like there's so many jump rings in there.
Yeah. No, honestly, it's a very simple weave to do. It's because again, it's chain mail. It's continuous. So once you've got the first few, excuse me, out the way, it's just a continuation of the same pattern.
Amazing. And how many jump rings have you actually got in one bracelet, in this bracelet?
I think there's about, there'll be more 5mm than 7mm. I'd say about 100 7mm and about 155mm.
Okay, so it is quite a jump ring heavy one, but then given the fact that this kit's got 750, you're all right.
Still got
okay, over to you, my lovely.
Okay, so what we need to do is we need to take one of our 7mm jump rings, if I hold that up, and add 2 5mm jump rings to it. Okay? So I've just added those onto there. Now, I'm going to lay it down on the mat because it's easier to do it flat, this weave. Okay, so I'm just going to pop it down, and I'm going to just separate those 2 small jump rings. Okay. Now I'm going to take another 7mm jump ring. I'm going to place it over the right hand jump ring here. Now this weave is a lot tighter in the correct sizes. With my size, it's going to be a little bit loose and wobbly because they're not the correct sizes. So,
yes.
But 5 and 7 are the only sizes you can do this weave with.
Fleur's demonstrating with these bigger ones just so you can see, because you can imagine using a 5mm is quite tricky to demonstrate.
You wouldn't see it, and especially them being the dark colour, you wouldn't see them at all.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so what I've done is I've placed my 7mm jump ring over the top of my right hand small jump ring. I'm going to take my open 7mm jump ring and I'm going to connect the 2 small jump rings, and what I've done is I've sandwiched that loose jump ring in the middle. Okay, and close that one up. So that's my first section done. So now if I just push them across and let them sit there. Now the next step is to add on 2 more small jump rings. So you always need 2 small jump rings to be able to sandwich the previous large jump ring in place. Okay. So my next small jump ring is going to go onto this jump ring here, the previous jump ring, right in the middle, in between those 2 small jump rings. So you see this little section here. So if I just point to it there. So this little section there. Okay, it's just going to go onto there. So I'm going to take my pliers and I'm just going to attach it through and just give that a little close. Okay, so now I've got one on one side, which is inside the next jump ring. The next one is going to go on the outside of the same ring, so it's always attaching to the previous large ring, but this one's just going to go on the outside. So just pop it on the outside. Where's my other pliers? And close. Sorry, I have to close these with pliers because they're a bit tough.
They're a bit bigger, aren't they?
They're a bit tough, these ones. So now I've got my 2 jump rings again. So now I'm going to take my large 7mm jump ring and I'm going to connect those 2 small jump rings. So I'm going to go through the outside one first and then through the inside one. Again, sandwiching that previous large jump ring in place. And close. And now I've got my second layer of dragon steps. So now my next jump ring, if I just pull it out a little bit, you'll be able to see there. My next jump ring, again, goes onto the previous jump ring, so the one that's sitting to the left as I look at it, in between these 2 small jump rings again. Now, when you've got the correct size jump rings, what might be easier, because it does go quite rigid, this weave.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's difficult to get this jump ring through the middle. What you can do is flip that one down out of the way, and then add it in, and then just flip it back, so it sits back on top. So if I just close that, and then flip that one back over, you can see it's now sitting perfectly inside again.
Okay. Put that there for you, so you can...
Yeah.
Don't know if that helps.
Okay, so now I've got this one in the middle of the previous jump ring again. Now to make my 2, it's got to come on the outside of that new jump ring that I added. So again, onto the same large jump ring, through just on the outside.
Close it up.
Close it up. And now this one, my next jump ring, and like I say, this won't happen with the correct size, it won't all fall apart like this, it's just because these are so large. Let's just bring that there.
They'll naturally be within
They'll naturally be within that where they have to sit, because there's no other room for them to go. So that's why it becomes quite a rigid weave, but still movable. Okay, so now with my next 7mm jump ring, I'm now going to connect these 2 small jump rings. So again, go through the first one that's sitting in the middle, and then through the second one that sits on the outside. And as you can see, it's just a repetition of pattern, but what you're doing is you're working on one side, then the other, then the other, then the other, which creates that step-like formation along it. So I'll just do one more, so you can see the gap where it has to sit. It's got to sit on the ring that's in the middle.
On the inside?
On the inside, in between those 2 previous rings. And what I'm going to do, just so to help you remember, I'm going to flip that ring that I've just added out the way, add that one through, give it a little close, flip it back up, and now the other one's going to come on this side to create that zigzag pattern. So onto this side and through. Like I say, you'll at home you'll have it a lot closer to your face and you'll be able to see it a lot nicer. But do you know what I love about these jump rings is you can create this colour with bare copper jump rings, and then you have to seal it. But with these, they're going to stay this colour the whole time.
It does look a little bit like that, sort of bare copper, which had gone on to be, is it patinaed?
Yeah.
It does look a little bit like that. It's lovely, lovely colours. I can see very, very popular kit. Lots of you still with it in your baskets though, so please do check out. How are we looking on quantity? Well over half the stock has already gone now. Sorry, just while you've got one more step to do, did you say?
I'm just going to attach those 2 rings, and you just carry on going, and you can see the formation. So you're always going to have 2 small on one side. So if I just push that there, so you're going to have 2, 2, 2. So you can see how it zigzags up. And if I just bring this,
I love the name as well, Dragon Step, because you can actually see the kind of like the
yeah, and you can see how it replicates all the way through. All the way through the design there. So it's exactly the same. It's just in my large jump rings, it's like blown up, if you like, into a larger segment. But it's very simple weave once you get into it.
It's lovely, and I love the fact that you can actually see those kind of dragon steps, can't you? Is that why it's called that?
I think so, yeah.
I know I might be asking a fairly obvious question.
I think so.
Amazing, do check out. Now it's time for your matching gemstones. So we're not going anywhere. We're going to stick with the lovely Fleur because we've got more demonstrations with you. Now, natural peridot, natural emerald, amazing pearls. Now, from first glance, No, no. No, 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 no. Yeah, these are shell pearls, right? Are you kidding? Is it just me, Fleur?
They're perfect, aren't
they? You love your pearls.
I
took one of your pearl.
My little worksheet.
My little worksheet the other day. Seriously?
Have you seen the colours that come off of them?
I thought these were shell pearls. You can get shell pearls which are in a teardrop shape because they're reconstituted, so they're reconstituted to whatever shape you want them to be. But these, look at the quality. Okay, hold up. Whatever this kit goes to, whatever the price is, I mean, don't get me wrong, you've got amazing emerald and amazing peridot and more pearls coming up. I would pay whatever price tag for these pearls alone. You do not get cultured pearls of this size in that much, with a wonderful shape. They're 10 by 6. Can you see those teardrops? Our graphics say rice. They're not. They're teardrop pearls to me.
Top drilled
teardrops, absolutely. I mean, the piece that you've created, Fleur, which we'll show you, that shows off just the symmetry and just how uniformed every single one of these pearls are. Wowzers. Forgive me, I thought these were shell pearls. I thought these were shell pearls. I mean, you can understand why, can't you? Absolutely incredible. What else do we have, though? More pearls. Look at these. What a combination. Christmases all came at once, didn't they, when you had this kit?
If I was to put a kit together and they could give me everything on the website, I think I would pick this.
Design one just like so.
As well.
It's just gorgeous. I mean, look at the length and the quality of these gemstones. You've got peridot here, beautiful plain rounds.
Yeah. And it's such a beautiful green as well.
Yeah, wonderful, which works lovely with the pearls. I'm not surprised you decided to have one, a pearl and peridot piece. They're 4mm, am I right in suggesting that? 4x3, the peridot. Sorry, no, they're not. They're 4x3, the small pearls. And these are 4mm on your peridot. Of course, idiochromatic gemstone, so no treatment, no enhancement whatsoever. And then, listen, we've still not done natural emerald. Now, that is a rarity. This gemstone usually is fissure-filled or enhanced, looking like they are exactly the same size as your peridot, so 4mm, 36 carats in total. Just a wonderful combination of colours. And then team that with the jump rings that you've just had. It's lovely, isn't it? I mean, look at this shot. Look, zoned in on those pearls. Look at the sheer size and quality. I'm still absolutely speechless, the fact that those teardrops are natural cultured pearls. You know, they're not shell pearls.
No. And if there's any left of this kit, I'm buying 2 of the gemstones and of the jump rings as well, purely because of the pearls, because I love my knot-in as well. And peridot is one of my favourites. But the emerald, to get emerald in 4mm rounds, and I love graduated strands, don't get me wrong, but to have a strand, 2 strands that are the same size all the way down is brilliant, because 4mm and 6mm are your perfect gemstone sizes for chain maille, because they fit perfectly in.
I bet.
And you know, in the pearls and the emerald go together so beautifully as well.
Every single strand, I mean, it's hard to choose. And the fact that they are double-stranded on here as well, it's hard to choose, you know, which ones you'd actually team with what.
And I mean, how amazing. This is what I've got left.
How high end is this?
It's just a knot in between each one, just to showcase each pearl.
That's fabulous, isn't it? Absolutely fab. Yeah, I want to buy it as well. Yeah, I'm going to be multi-buying on it too. Stop permitting. Well done. Now, apparently this should be. I'd pay that for the pearls. I'd pay that for the pearls. I'd pay more than that for the pearls.
Definitely.
Over £10 reduction coming your way. Wow, you've got a deal here, folks. We've got 80 of these, did you say? £22.95. Can I just say, my mum was, I was messaging my mum the other day and she was like, oh, tuned in on Tuesday, Elle. And she was saying to me, gosh, everything was really, really tempting. Mum, if you're watching right now, please, can you buy me one of these? Please, 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 please. I'll give you the money. I promise I will. Because I think I'm going to miss out on this. £22.95.
I'd pay that for the peridot, because that peridot is so clear. and so beautiful. And I've got peridot jewellery as well that I bought from other places, and that green is better than some of my
100%.
my jewellery.
This is going to sell out. I'm just being told over half the stock has gone. Absolutely amazing. So first come, first serve, incredible. You've used the peridot and the pearls in this piece here. You've included peridot in with your chain maille as well, which works wonderfully. But you haven't added any findings to your overall makes. No. So you've actually made a head pin. Is that a head pin or a clasp?
Head pin into a clasp,
And is it the same? Can I actually on all of these?
Yeah, on all of them.
I'll tell you what I'm going to do is show you on the pearl necklace. Put that back. Show you on the pearl necklace because I love this. You know, in our workshops, you know when pieces of jewellery are sectioned off.
Yeah.
If you see this, can you give me a heads up?
I will.
Give me a little bit of a heads up. So I'm just going to turn this around so you can actually see the clasp. So this is off your head pin, Fleur?
Yeah, head pin, and then the beads as crimp covers.
Using the beads as crimp covers. Now how do we do that?
So I was wondering when I got the kit, I was like, oh, that's brilliant, but I didn't have any findings that matched. And what I didn't want to do is I didn't want to put gold or I didn't want to put copper with it. I wanted to keep it as pure as I could. So when I was working with the little beads, and I saw them more on the gold beads that I've had before, they have got a little opening in them. So I thought, I wonder if I can open it up. So I had a go, and it opened up absolutely perfectly. And all I used to open it up are my round nose pliers. Now I've just got my bent nose pliers, but any sort of like small pliers. And what I did, I picked it up, and you can, if you just turn it around in the light, and they're so perfectly closed, that you can't actually feel it, but when you do start to work it open, it will come open. So I just held it onto my round nose pliers, popped in my other pliers, and just start to tease it apart.
So they do tease open?
They do tease open, and they don't spoil. So as you can see there now, I've now got, can you see it okay?
Yeah, there it is.
I've now got a crimp cover that I can use and squeeze it back together. So underneath are silver crimps, because that's all I had to hand, but you can't see them because I've covered it with these. So in the chain maille necklace, on the sections where the emerald down and so the centre section there, they're crimps underneath because that's beading thread that's holding that together. And I've just used them to crimp over the top, so it still looks like one continuous piece of jewellery. And for me, as a jewellery maker, that's what makes a piece really professional, because it's the same all the way through. So you've not swapped and changed through. A little bit like if you've used a gold head pin and a silver earring finding. If that's your design look, that's perfect. But if it's just mismatched, then sometimes
you do notice it, don't you?
You do notice it. I mean, if it's a design feature all the way through, that's absolutely fine. But for me, I wanted to keep it as pure as I could because I just love the colour.
I totally agree with you there. And if I look at, you do it with anything, don't you? Sometimes if you're buying like, I don't know, a blouse or something like that, if the buttons aren't nice or something like that, you just think,
if you had 6 black buttons and 1 white button,
it wouldn't look right, would it?
Yeah,
absolutely. So it's continuation, it's professionalism. Now this kit is hugely popular. It's going to sell out. I mean, can you see from over there? Yeah, just how many people are on the phone lines and on the web. A few text messages from Norma in Hampshire. Good morning, Norma. Wow, good morning, Eleanor and Fleur. I've bought 3 of the pearl kits. I'm not surprised. It's amazing. And 2 of the other need to make wedding jewellery. Oh, how wonderful! That would be incredible.
Gosh, yeah, really beautiful.
You've got a question from Nate in County Antrim. Hi, Eleanor and Fleur. Hello. Your dragon step bracelet, can you change the colour in the jump rings? Can't wait to try this design.
Yeah. So you could have.
Good question.
You could have if you bought this kit and you say you wanted to use a 7mm in the antique bronze, you could use gold or silver or copper to do the little small sections in the centre. You know, the small jumps. Yeah, 2 different colours will help it. You'll be able to see it. And I always say chain maille in 2 different colours looks more 3-dimensional because you can see each step. You can see the workmanship that goes into it. Some people like a more consistent looking colour all the way through. I like both personally because I just love chain maille. But yeah, definitely, if you want to use 2 different colours, it will make it easier for you to see where the weave's going, like what we've just done in the coloured jump rings.
So with if you did alternate, like Nate was asking there, you would literally almost see those steps,
yeah,
wouldn't you?
See the steps.
Amazing.
Yeah, so you could alternate so all the large jump rings on the left, you could have them silver, and all the large jump rings on the right, you could have those gold, and then through the centre, you could have those a different colour. So you could have 3 different colours throughout that weave, and it would still look really beautiful.
Fabulous. Now we will, the kit has, gemstones have sold out. Well done to those of you that were successful. We are going to do sort of your clasp as well, but before we do, now, what is always on, right, how many observant people are out there? What is do you know what, the graphics are on the screen.
Oh, that's ruined it for you.
It kind of has, really. I just feel a bit daft now. I just feel a bit daft. What's always on our guest designer's desk? Well, are you talking about the tool dock, Al? Apart from a cup of tea, they are, I mean, it's obvious without sounding ridiculous. I'm not going to tell you how to use your tool dock. The pliers obviously aren't included. This is what you get. It's 9.5 centimetres high by 30 centimetres wide. If you get into the habit of actually putting your tools back onto the dock, you never search them.
No, I've got 2 of these at home, and I've just used a little bit of that tacky, bluey stuff, and I just put them onto my desk so that they don't move around, and then my tools are always on there. The only time they come in, I put them in the bag, is when I come here.
Just like so.
Because you can see, and I have all my flat nose and chain nose pliers on one, and then my round nose and my cutters and my bail making pliers on the other, because I use more flat and chain nose doing chain maille, and then the others are there. So yeah.
I was going to say, as a chain maille, well, you're a jewellery maker, but in particular you love your chain maille. You know, if you lose your tools, then that is a tragedy.
It would be. I'd cry for weeks.
But we don't want that. So this eliminates any tears.
Yeah. And it's easy to lose them because you will put them down, and and you can't find them for love nor money.
Oh gosh, I do it all the time. All the times I've just had it. Where have I put that? Yeah, all the time. Also, if I lean it forward, you can see lots of little individual circles there. Tidy tools at last, Claire says in Gloucestershire. Absolutely. Little individual sockets there. That's for things like your bead reamers, which go like that, don't they?
Yeah. So if you
don't stick upwards because that would be a little bit more dangerous. County Down says, brilliant addition to my kit. Makes it so much easier to have tools sitting in front of me. Absolutely.
Yeah, and this will fit in the large our large Jewellery Maker bags as well. Just pick it off your desk and pop it down.
Funny you should say that. That might be coming up. Bryony in Berkshire, very useful. This is my second set. You've got 2 as well?
Yeah, I've got 2. Yeah. They are brilliant.
Do you know what I was looking at the other day? Wait, $3.95 for this. It is a lovely clear perspex. I was looking at online the other day because, okay, I'm going very short little snippet. This is going to be boring, but there is a reason to my story. It's kind of one of my life ambitions to have a proper dressing table, to have one, you know, with a proper stool that you can sit at and everything like that. At the moment, I sit on a cushion in front of a big mirror and tend to get sort of scratched by the dogs an awful lot. Anyway, yeah, that's one of my ambitions. I want to have a nice, proper dressing table. Yeah. And have you ever seen the cost of perspex makeup holders and things like that? If you go on one of those websites, they're fortunes. $3.95 only. Another question for you, Fleur, about jump rings from Victoria in Hertfordshire. Morning, Fleur. Can you ask Fleur? Sorry, I'm Eleanor. But can you ask Fleur how to? I can't read that from here. Attach a
Mobius ring.
Oh, Mobius ring to another jump ring.
Yeah.
Fabulous. Will you show us?
Yeah, no problem.
There we go, Victoria.
So when you're making your Mobius ring, you need 3 open jump rings. So you start with your large one, you go down through the middle, attach 2 jump rings together, pop the next jump ring through, and that's your Mobius ring. Now to attach it to another jump ring, what you need to do is go through the middle of all of them, and then you can attach it, say, to another piece of jewellery. So all you need to do is just go through the middle, and if you were to let that jump ring fall down, it would sit as a Mobius circle as well. So if you put 5 into a Mobius ring and then took 1 at the top and 1 at the bottom, that's how you get them to connect together. So it is just another jump ring that goes through the middle and then attaches to your piece. What I would say is the jump ring that you attach your Mobius ring to your piece that you're adding it to, or your gemstone, if it could be the smallest jump ring that you have in your stash, it makes it look neater. So as you can see, it's not, this one's too big, it's sticking up. So you need it to be a nice small jump ring to connect the two together, and then you won't see the join between the two, and it will just look like it's going from Mobius to your piece that you're attaching it to.
Oh, amazing. Thank you so much, Fleur. There we go, Victoria. Hope that answers your question. Now, we are going to have to be really quick. We will come to that head pin, but before we go to that, my lovely, sorry, that's me keeping you on your toes. We have got one more demonstration to squeeze in. We have got 10 of these available in the world. Once they're gone, they're gone. Now, look, solid, complete, sterling silver bracelets. Love them. I'd wear them as they are. If you got the charms earlier on, absolutely amazing. They've got the attached lobster claw, all of this sterling silver. It is the last 10. It's not £12.95, which is absolutely ridiculous. This is solid sterling silver, as you can see. 1mm chain, complete bracelets for £10.
Do you know, I had some gold ones in the kit, and I put a crimp cover over 2 and crimped 2 together, and it looked beautiful.
Gone.
Oh, they're gone.
I'm not surprised at £2 each.
Wow.
Is that right? Yeah, £2 each. Right, okay, how do we make a perfect... A clasp with a head pin?
So you take your head pin in, and the head pins that come in the kit are the most perfect length for your clasp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that very last little end off there, so the end that's got the flat part on. And if you cut just a little, about a millimetre off of that, you can use that in your polymer clay and in your resin as well. So you can stud your polymer clay with that as well. So always keep those little bits. Now, we've got our piece of metal. What we need is our round nose pliers. And all I'm going to do, right on the very end of my round nose pliers, I'm going to make a very tiny little circle. Okay, so just turn it over into a little loop. So I've now got a tiny little loop at the top. Can you see that there? Okay. So that little loop has to fit in between the jump ring that you're going to use. So the size of that little loop is dictated by the size of the jump ring that you're going to attach it into. Because if you make that too big, it won't attach into the actual loop itself.
Okay, that makes sense.
Now, I've got some baling pliers, but you don't have to have baling pliers. You can use the handle of your round nose, handle of pliers, something that's a little bit larger. So if you can see, these have all got different sizes, but my round nose pliers are quite slim. So I'd need to come right down to the very bottom of my round nose pliers, but then it'd still make quite a small clasp. So I'm going to go to my baling pliers, and I'm going to use this 4th section here, so the 4th biggest one. So popping it in between, and can you see the actual loop is facing away, so it's pointing down. Okay. All I'm going to do now is bend this around to create. I've used the wrong side. It doesn't matter. Create like a little shepherd's hook. So all I've done is bent it around to create that shepherd's hook. Okay. So that's like my little hook, if you like. And now going to the other end, so this section here, I now need to pop a little loop on the bottom there to be able to attach it to the piece that I need to attach it to. So all I do there is go back to my round nose pliers, and going the opposite way to the actual curve of the loop, just turn a circle back around, and there you have
your perfect
little clasp. And then all I did then is I just popped that onto my my little steel block and gave it a very light hammer with my nylon hammer. So if you've got a whammer, the nylon section, or if any interchangeable hammers, if you want to flatten it, you can do, but be very, very careful when you flatten it, because if you hit it too hard, you could snap little bits off.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
That then, by hammering it, makes it a little bit stronger.
Lovely.
And that's it.
We've got one more question for you, my darling, from... anonymous, but it's a live message and saying, morning everybody, Fleur, a while ago you made a weave that you said was used for the chin strap on guardsman, I remember that, on the guardsman's headgear. Which weave was it, please?
It's the half Persian 4-in-1. So it's the traditional curb chain, if you like.
There we go.
Yeah.
Half Persian, 4-in-1. There we go. Fantastic message. Thank you, my lovely. We'll be back with you shortly. Do grab that as soon as you can. The gemstones have all but sold out. No surprises whatsoever.
Yeah.
None for us, Fleur.
No.
None for us. Let's take a wander this way because we have got more sterling silver to bring you. I gave you a little bit of a sneaky peek earlier on. Just amazing. I mean, this is, you can see the dimensions. It's a substantial sterling silver chain, 2mm in gauge. It's lovely, what we call a curb chain, which lays lovely and flat. You can see me actually referring to, you just said then a curb chain on the guardsman's, because if you can imagine this sort of our guardsman's chain on there, it does lay flat, doesn't it? Yeah. Obviously, so it does actually stay there. This is beautiful. A big, substantial sterling silver necklace with the extender chain, with, of course, your bolt ring on there, which is, again, substantial, and your charm, solid 925 sterling silver, a 40cm length, which does equate to in inches, approximately 16, but you've got your extender there as well, which is 5 centimetres, so you can always add to that. I mean, if you like to wear your necklaces a little bit longer, not a problem. You can multi-buy on these. I often do that when I'm looking for a longer length, just literally add a few of the same chain in together, so this could easily become a 32-inch chain if you were to get 2 of them. Or as jewellery makers, of course, you're very talented. There's every possibility of you being able to connect these, and it's staying like so. Now grab it whilst you can, because this is a big, substantial, average gram weight. You can see how beautifully it lays, wonderfully lustrous. £10.95 is already an incredible deal. However, let's get that postage and packaging off for you, £7.95. I mean, you can't get a 1.5 gram chain in most establishments for that price tag. You know, the ones I'm referring to that don't even hang, that don't even fall on the neckline? You know, the ones that kind of stick to you and are so insignificant you think they're barely there? They are barely there. You know the ones I'm talking about. And to me, I mean, there is always a place, and some people might prefer the dainty chains. I like something to be able to be more obvious. Do you agree, Fleur?
Yeah, I think if you're going to wear a chain, I think you want it to sheen and shine, and with this chain it certainly does have that beautiful sheen to it, because it's pure sterling silver, and with it being flat as well, catches the light so lovely.
Do you know, whilst you were sort of demonstrating that, I noticed myself literally just playing with it, because it feels beautifully. It's a lovely tactile necklace, and again, it doesn't have to have a pendant with it. You can, maybe you got those charms earlier on, they look amazing. We've got lots of gemstones coming up throughout the course of the morning that would look incredible as well. £7.95 only. Now, Fleur, what have you got coming up in your 10 o'clock hour? So 10 a.m. this morning, because back with you for more inspiration.
Yeah, we've got homeware, chain mail around the home. So I've done a beautiful candle, used a wine bottle as a candlestick, and then a little tea light holder.
Where did you get a wine bottle from?
Found one. Yeah, found it.
See, there's no wine in our house.
But you can buy them. You can buy wine bottles. I didn't realise you could buy empty wine bottles.
Can you?
Yeah. But do you know what? It's cheaper to buy the wine.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I can't partake at the moment, but I wish I could. Make sure you do stay tuned, because there's more with Fleur and more with me after this.
Owning a strand of genuine gemstones is always exciting, but being able to use it in your handcrafted jewellery, then passing it on to its new owner with proof of its authenticity is even more incredible. Why not add one of our printed authenticity cards to your order and share that same feeling with your customers? You can also access online authenticity certificates for items you have previously ordered by looking at your order history on your account details. The certificate gives you valuable information about your purchase and is your guarantee of quality and peace of mind from Jewellery Maker. Are you new to jewellery making? Not sure where to start? Not sure what materials you'll need? Then tune in to Jewellery Maker between 7 PM and 9 PM throughout January for our Get Started show. We'll guide you through how to get started with step-by-step tutorials. Our talented designers will give you advice, inspiration, and introduce you to new mediums. Start off the new year with a new hobby. If you have a question or a query for Jewellery Maker, then you can contact our call centre on 0800 644 655 and press option 2, or alternatively you can email help@jewellerymaker.com.
Welcome back, everyone. Lovely to have your company this morning. My name's Ellen. I'm joined by the gorgeous Fleur. I don't know why I had to sing it quite like that, Fleur, but I did.
Right.
You do things like this to me, you know. It's this the temptress in you.
As long as we don't start laughing.
No, try not to, because if we do that, then we don't stop, do we? We were just talking about my little puppy dog Brutus, who was sat in a very peculiar way the other day.
He was.
He's only about so big. He's still really small, and he's officially can go out now. But I'm like, gosh, he's too small to go out because I think he'll fall down the drain or something like that. Anyway, but he was sat the other day, literally, sort of sat like a person would. Yeah. Feet out, arms like this, big round belly, showing everything that he got, basically.
He just needs one of them Hugh Hefner smoking jackets.
He kind of did look a little bit like that. And it was the look on his face, you know, because I was laughing at him, profusely laughing at this big belly and everything else. And he's like that.
Don't laugh at me. Yeah.
You know it, you know, it's all good. It was so funny. I'll share it with you on my presenter page. Anyway, we've got so much to bring you. We've got brand new wins coming your way, beautiful examples of stunning gemstones. I've got, let me see, I've written a list of some of the most exciting opportunities. Clear quartz rondelles. I've got blue Labradorite coming up, which is wonderful. Black spinel, which is just stunning. Faceted rounds, which you don't see every single day. I've got Imperial Topaz, which is hands down one of my favourite ever gemstones, and we're talking about one of the rarest and most valued. We've got Labradorite rondelles, we've got Smoky quartz bars coming up as well. Earlier on in the week when we brought you amethyst and the black rutile quartz, did you see those? I think they pretty much sold out. We have got the Smoky quartz bars of that strand coming up. In fact, should we start with that, shall we? Just beautiful. And if you love quite a strong geometrical design, if you love sort of 1920-esque sort of feature pieces, then this will absolutely appeal. Just think about, and they're always amazing in terms of the price tag. Do you know those two sets that we get of graduated bars? Sometimes we've certainly had them in abalone. We've had them in, I think, black agate. We've had them in.
I've had some fancy jasper ones.
Fancy jasper, yeah. It does tend to be the agates that you've seen it in, or abalone I've seen also once. Just imagine what you would pay for those two small geometric cuts. Fabulous. They look absolutely incredible. But wait until you see this.
That's nice.
It's amazing, isn't it? If Linda Brumwell is watching right now, I know exactly what she's going to be doing. That's dialing straight through. I would multi-buy straight away just because I think it has to be like so, and then maybe the second one to create some fantastic matching earrings or just one wire wrapped. I mean, Fleur, these are stunning, aren't they?
Yeah, I love smoky quartz. I really love it. My mum's got little tea rooms in Scotland, and I always make smoky quartz jewellery, and it just sells out all the time when it's in there. But smoky quartz and pearls are one of my favourite combinations.
It does look lovely. But
yeah, they get like 1920s sort of beautiful
exquisite,
art.
It is a really exquisite, classy combination. I agree, and I can understand how they always sell out because you know, Scots are very patriotic. The majority are. My cousin lives up in Scotland. Yeah, very, very patriotic, and this is of course their national gemstone. You're looking for wonderful clarity. I think it's a combination of coffee tones with champagne-esque flashes. Even in the simplest of cuts like this, where they are dramatic bars and they're not briolets, they're not round brilliant cut, they're not oval cut or princess cut, you're still going to see that wonderful internal brilliance. We've got a massive quantity of these. We've got 277, or rather we had 277 to be exact. The last two opportunities where I had to bring you a similar strand, totally different gemstones, they were amethyst and black rutile quartz, which was earlier on in the week. They sold out. Sold out. There might be one or two literally available now, but gone from, and they were to 200 plus quantities. I don't think this is going to be any different. I mean, you look at just how substantial just one of those gemstones is. I mean, look at that. Imagine that sort of in a, what would you call it? Wags Wyco maybe at the top.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be beautiful.
Suspended.
And then just on a chain, just that one on a chain.
Yeah. Absolutely amazing. I'm going to hold this out so you can actually see. I mean, this is a great way of creating not just a cascade-like design, but structure, texture. Just absolutely fabulous. I adore it. 277 is not nearly enough, especially at the beginning of the weekend, where we are bringing you stunning designs like this. Our very own Paula Bennett. Last time I saw us, we're going back before Christmas, these were in a, there was an opportunity where they were coated in a, it wasn't smoky quartz, it was a totally different gemstone, but I saw similar similar shapes, and Paula Bennett was like, wow, need those, gotta buy them, and I totally understand, because it's a real statement couture piece of jewellery, isn't it?
That is, yeah, it is. And with, say, can you imagine some rose gold spacer beads? If you got the tubes of spacer beads, rose gold, just one in between each one, just to elongate it out, so you could then make your earrings, make a ring. I know Jan's got a wonderful DVD where she uses just one section, as a ring. You know, really, that strand could go a long, long way.
It really could. Yeah, if you love making rings like the lovely Jan, gosh, that's a lot of rings on this strand, isn't it? A lot of big statement rings as well. Stunning. Already John and Susan, Joan, Sylvia, Katrina, Christine, Kent, Sheila, Leslie, Davinia, hello to you, Jennifer, Janet, hello to you, Susan, Linda, Andrea, another Susan, Molly, Lynn, Leslie, Jackie, Wendy, nice to be with you. I just adore it. And again, yeah, it's a classy gemstone. It kind of always reminds me of Zarite as a gem.
Yeah, it's got that beautiful. It's just got that natural elegance. It's just one of those gemstones, whatever form it's in, whether it's in these, you know, beautiful long shards, or whether it's in a faceted round or a briolet, it's just elegant.
It is a really classy, sophisticated, elegant gemstone. Now, what you won't be expecting is the price tag, so grab it whilst you can. 277 means that we can take it to the most amazing, affordable price. We're going to be matching that of your amethyst and of your black rutile. $9.95 single figure price tag is absolutely incredible for 400 carats of smoky quartz. Have you noticed how it almost disappeared from our vaults and also from different establishments out there? That's because quality like this, amazing clarity with that rich espresso tone, is really seen and can command hugely considered price tags. It's not just us here at Jewellery Maker that love smoky quartz. You think about all the different big high-end boutique jewelers that also absolutely love it. $9.95 is not a price tag, though, that you would associate to all of the work and faceting that goes into a strand like this. Tons of you with it in your basket. I would encourage you check out, whilst we have got, or rather we had, a massive quantity, and yes, it's still early in the morning, they will sell out. It will. No ifs, buts or maybes, and that's me being 99% certain, because they're just following by example of the previous strand of this shape. They did exactly that too. So please do check out. Congratulations to you all. Not going too far from me though, that is going on my T-bar. Moving on to square jump rings. Now these are very limited. There's nothing stopping you using these as individual spaces, maybe with the smoky quartz just there, that'd be amazing. But bails?
Yeah, you can use them as bails. You can snip them so you can make them into an open jump ring. If you want to use them in your chain mail, wherever it says add a closed jump ring, you can add these into it.
To make a decorative feature?
Yeah, so if you wanted to do, say, your Japanese flowers, you can make these into your Japanese flowers, your 12 in 2, Japanese weaves or your European 4-in-1. But if you wanted to use it with your polymer clay, your resin, jewel enamel, friendly plastic, all those kind of mediums.
Works for all of the above. Yeah. I only wish I had more. There's 100 in total. They're the gold-plated copper square jump rings which measure 7 millimeters. As you can see, they're beautiful. That's like a bar of gold, isn't it, right there?
Just on that, on your sterling silver chain, putting those onto that sterling, and they'll all just group together like that, and you wouldn't have to do anything else to that.
No, lovely movement, lots of luster, lots of sparkle. Yeah, stunning. Totally agree. Only wish I had more. That's the only problem. So yes, you can incorporate square jump rings with your chain mail. So where they say attach a closed jump ring, basically you're attaching a decorative feature.
That's it. Yeah. So some of the weaves it says add a closed jump ring, pre-closed jump ring. Because these are already closed, you just add these in and have a play with chainmail. You know, have a play with the different looks it'll create, because that'll create a real contemporary look in your chainmail.
Yeah, I love that. I love that idea. And if you got the kit just that you saw with Fleur, if you didn't, there are maybe a couple of those still available, which was a lovely antique copper, wasn't it?
It was.
That would look amazing.
Would beautiful with the emeralds.
Oh, yeah, you say emeralds. I was about to say with the smoky quartz as well.
Yes, with the smoky quartz. See, I think the smoky quartz needs to go in that kit as well. For me, if we got the gemstones, that would be an amazing addition.
Wendy, well done in Devon, Dumfries and Galloway. Congratulations, Belinda and Buckinghamshire, you're with me as well. Limited in stock, only wish we had more. You've got that lovely buttery gold plating and your square jump rings. How many have we got available of these, Kimbo? 41, like I say, it's not enough. Belinda's just bought 2. I don't blame you, Belinda. These are definitely, you know, with your jump rings, you get them as soon as you possibly can, don't you?
And if you don't want to use them for anything other than in your beaded jewellery, you know, if you're a beader, use these as decorative jump rings for the end for your clasps. Yeah. Because they match the colour of our findings kits absolutely perfectly, because they've all been coated in the same gold. So, and that, again, like we were saying before, makes that piece really professional looking.
Takes a homemade piece of jewellery to a bespoke,
handmade,
handcrafted, absolutely, totally agree. Okay, coming your way, last in stock, Sheila, hello to you, Persis, Carol, Derbyshire, Susan, $7.95 for 100 jump rings, so they're going to go a long way. Again, if you were just attaching those open jump rings, I know this is a difficult question for you to answer, Fleur, but approximately how many would you need if you were using them as sort of a decorative feature?
Okay, so if you were going to do the European 4-in-1, say, you could do a whole bracelet with connecting jump rings, open connecting jump rings that in the same colour or different colourway. You'd probably use about 80 of them, so you've still got 20 left.
There we go. Or if you just use them in your standard beading, you'd probably only need a couple, wouldn't you?
Or in your bead looming, your bead weaving, in your rings. You could, cause if you're a wire worker, you could wire wrap these into position. And I know I've seen people make flowers with a wire out of this, or wire into place into beautiful flowers. Because when they connect together, just one into one, they don't sit as squares; they sit as diamonds. So it makes a really beautiful chain as well. So even if you just want a chain and just link one into one with an open jump ring, or like a rosary link in between, they sit like beautiful diamonds.
Absolutely love that. Now on the back of your square jump rings, and lots of you there, or you know, we've got obviously a lot of chain mailers watching this morning. Why wouldn't we? We've got Fleur Hastings in the house. Fleur Hastings
in the manor house.
In the manor house. Absolutely. It is actually a house as well. So I'm not even trying to be cool. Is that still cool to say that? Probably not.
I don't know, because we're about the same. Well, I'm a bit older than you, but...
No, I don't know. I think I'm older than you.
No, I'm older than you, a lot older than you.
I don't know. How old are you?
I'm 41 in a couple of months.
We're not a lot older. I'm 37. I'm 37, so we're about the same, same generation.
Same generation.
Yeah. Okay, on the back of your square jump rings, I've got gorgeous. I'm older. No, I'm older. We sounded like we were kids in school. I'm bigger than you.
I'm older.
I'm taller than you. On the back of that, we have got some triangle jump rings here. Now, again, these are the rose gold plated copper. If you don't mind, I'm just going to lean on you again once more. So, if you were to get these, what would be your instantaneous inspiration?
The thing that I love about these is making little bunting chains with them, because again, like the squares sit as diamonds.
Nice idea.
These sit as bunting, so the points always point down. So they connect into the corners, then you get a nice little point, and then you can add a gemstone to it. Again, great in any chainmail design that says add a closed jump ring. But I've used these in resin, and I've set them into resin and then put coloured resin inside them. So you've got like a triangle of rose gold, and then say a red inside, and then a green in the next one. And you can place them in your resin as like a little flower.
That's a nice idea.
And you can have different coloured petals, so you can use them as bezels really.
Yeah.
For resin and for polymer clay. They're great. And if you are getting into your chainmail and you want to bring it up into like a contemporary look, these are absolutely perfect. And again, match our findings perfect.
Well, you know, if you've got the kit, the next kit they're going to go amazing with too. If you've got the kit previously, the kit that's coming up, if you've got those yellow gold, the mixed tones, the trio of tones. Well, it's not just trio now. If you think about the antiques and the coppers, etc. You really make a wonderful look. I really favour that combination.
I do.
And not necessarily in a specific pattern, like taking a chainmail, but actually doing them random.
Yeah, you could do it completely random, and that again looks really lovely. And I've got a pot that when I drop them on the floor, and I put them into the different sizes, but I've got pots of just mixed. Yeah. And I quite sometimes do think I'm not a random person though, so I have to have a pattern. That's why I love chainmail.
I love how many guest designers do we know that you can actually see when they say that, oh, I'm not a random person. Yeah. You say it kind of like this, as if to say it's a little bit nerve-wracking.
It is. It frightens me to have something random. Yeah.
Really?
I can't do it, yeah. I try, like Laura will say to me, but can you see that wire there wants to swirl there? I'd say, but there's not one on the other side, so I can't. I have to match it up. It has to be symmetrical.
Okay, well maybe that's why you are chainmail, because that makes sense. Yeah, it's repetitive, it's a pattern. Yeah. And Laura likes her organic, rustic sort of shapes and everything. That makes sense, doesn't it? It does to me.
I think people do fall into two categories, and I do like patterns. I like
order,
equations and things like that. Where so anything that's got like patterns within it, and
I would have totally sat next to you in school, Fleur, totally, because we are like yin and yang. You know, I'm the complete polar opposite of that. Let's bring that price tag in for you. 100 of them are available. Should be $7.95. We're not stopping there. We are going lower. Beautiful, lovely rose blush across the surface of these. Your triangle jump rings, not $7.95. We don't get to bring you jump rings individually every single day. I've got 99 opportunities. That's it. Once they're gone, they're gone. And I'm looking at already a page of names, and lots of you multi-buying. Susan's bought 3 of these. Another Susan in Wiltshire bought 3. Susan in Hampshire bought 2. Julie in Glamorgan's bought 2. Linda's bought 2. Belinda's bought 3. Shirley's bought 2. Who was that? Angela's just bought 2. Ruby, well done to you. So it's not going to hang around long, is it, at that price? We could probably count on one hand. In fact, I know we could. The amount of times that we play opportunities like this in any given week or even a month.
Yeah, and for the people that have multi-bought, you know, maybe they're just going to add them all onto stretch elastic and make that bracelet that you can use 200 jump rings of whichever size and shape. You can just add them onto your elastic, and you can
replicate that
bracelet.
Epilating style bracelet. Yeah. You know the ones, that place that comes from London. Yeah, I've actually got one of those bracelets. I have, and I love it. I do wear it quite a lot. But yeah, you have to make sure that if you've got very fine hairs on the back of your hand, let's just say you won't come the end of the day, it does kind of pluck them out somewhat. But it is a lovely design and a very easy concept as well.
Very, very easy concept. I bet they were over the moon when they dreamed that one up.
Yeah.
And then it took off like it did, because it is very famous. Lots of people do aspire to owning one where you can make your own in rose gold copper. And although these are closed,
I like the idea of rose gold. Yeah. Can you, I was going to say, because my producers just said, Elle, are these open or closed? They are actually closed, but you can open them.
You can open them, yeah. The best way to open them is with your flush cutters, or if you've got the big metal shears that come in either the stamping pack or the red-handled ones, because then you'll get more of a shear cut on either side.
Okay.
So, you can cut them open, no problem at all.
Amazing. So that there is opportunities, don't have to stay closed. Absolutely wonderful. Well done to those of you that got involved there. Like I said, we had 99, don't have 99 remaining, £5.95 only. That's a clearance price point, isn't it? Absolutely incredible. Now there is so much more to bring you throughout the course of the morning. Lots of amazing brand new strands, lots of incredible star buys, and the first one is coming up right now. I was just holding this up to Fleur from across the studio. Look at the sparkle.
They are special.
Look at the sparkle. This is why, even from a distance now, I know you can see it. Black spinel. Yes, it's a black gemstone, and you're not going to see clarity, you're not going to see pleochroism or triachroism, you're not going to see any phenomena within the gemstone, but you will see an abundance of sparkle. It is one of the most, in my opinion, seductive of gemstones, just because it has got that very dramatic appearance, but then it just flashes as if there are little diamonds, little stars encased within. That all boils down to the quality of the faceting. Because if you take an opaque gemstone, if you take, in this case, like I said, spinel, and it's faceted where the dimensions aren't accurate, where the facets are maybe a little bit distorted and not precise, when the polish isn't absolutely perfect, you simply lose all of that sparkle that I was just referring to. When you can see from a good meter, 2 meters away, you can see every single one of those facets, and if you think about how tiny they are, like literally millimeters in sort of dimensions, from here, from this distance, like I said, we're probably about 2 meters away from one another right now. And then add on to what you are from the television set at home. But look at that sparkle. That all boils down to the quality and the sheer skill of the lapidarists. I don't see black spinel of this size every single day, and these are some of the biggest that we have. They are obviously rounds, but they are faceted rounds right the way up to 10 millimeter. And again, just think about the fact that every single one of those facets is actually only sort of a 2, maybe 3 millimeter dimension, but yet look at what that tiny precision skill that has been influenced into this gemstone actually does all the way around 360 degrees. It brings you just an incredibly seducing appearance to this wonderful gemstone. 179 carats of natural black spinel. Spinel can be found in different colours, but certainly black spinel is favoured by the likes of Tiffany's & Co., the likes of Chanel, the likes of Cartier, the likes of Lorraine Schwartz, who's very much the Hollywood go-to jeweler. She commissions amazing pieces for the red carpet and has got wonderful establishments situated along Rodeo Drive. It's not unusual to see lots of celebrities, especially with all of the big award ceremonies coming up, pictured in such amazing gemstones as this. For example, whenever I see black spinel and I see it in a graduation like this, I think of Angelina Jolie, because she wore this gemstone in rose gold, absolutely stunning, in a graduated neckline piece, and you know, I couldn't take my eyes off it. Good luck and well done to those of you that have already got involved. Coming your way, not $19.95. Really? Okay, we should have been bringing this to you at a much, much higher price tag. We've gone straight in with your price, $19.95, for the size, the quality, the sparkle. I mean, it's absolutely stunning, isn't it?
I thought that would be a lot more than that.
Yeah?
A lot more than that.
A lot higher?
Yeah, a lot higher. Just one with a beautiful pearl, just one of the small seed pearls from the other kit.
Oh,
one either side,
incredible.
Just in the centre.
The smaller ones, you mean, don't you?
Just
that would be fantastic.
Just to use those small pearls in between. Absolutely wonderful. And the thing I like about black spinel is you see it and it looks red carpet, but you can wear it in the daytime as well.
Absolutely.
It's really, it crosses both day to nighttime jewellery.
I totally agree with you. And also it's a very durable gemstone, so you know, there's nothing stopping you wearing this. And if you had a bracelet, sort of like what you wear, Fleur, I mean, it's a durable gemstone. The only strand that we have, or the only other black spinel that we have on our own website. Oh, really? This is the only one? Sorry, I beg your pardon. Kim was saying to me this is the only one that we've got available on the website. So hopefully that tells you just how meticulous we are about the quality and the cutting of our gemstones. I mean, spinel, it is all about the cut. That is probably the most important C of the 4 Cs, because if you haven't got that right, then you simply lose all of the, you know, the number one appeal of this gemstone, which is luster and sparkle. So this is the sole opportunity that we have. Should have been closing a lot higher, $19.95. We've gone straight in with that price tag. Well done to you, Marion. Hello to you, Surrey, Carmarthenshire. Hello to you, Rachel, Sylvia, Gwen, Belinda, Catherine, you've got yours, Katrina and Elsie, lovely to be with you this morning. I would just restrand this personally.
I'd take 2 off and I'd have about 2 inches of sterling silver chain and have one of these on the bottom as earrings.
Oh, lovely.
So really long, so however long your hair is, it would just peep out the bottom.
Just literally peeping,
peeping out the bottom. I'd have 3 on a bracelet, definitely, just 3 across the wrist line. What I like about this strand is they're graduated from 7 to 10, so it's you get quite a lot of each size. Ranging through, so you can take those 8mm gemstones and use them in the bracelet. Use the 9 and the 10 in the necklace as well, and I would make a full suite with this. And I'd also make cufflinks. Yeah, great for cufflinks, aren't they? Really nice idea. That's a really good point. So you have got multiples of all of those 7, 8, 9 and 10mm. I'd not thought of that. So sometimes we go from quite small to a large and then back to a small, whereas this is a very it's a very short graduation. So it's to the eye, you can. You know, it takes a lot to see the difference. Absolutely. Incredible. Do stay where you are. Very popular over in Wales, by the way. Well done, well done, well done, well done. Lots of seductive ladies and gents over in Wales, I feel. Now, you're going to adore this next edition. I didn't know up until a few months ago that you could take certain phenomena gemstones, impregnate them with a dye, and you'd still see that phenomena, because I don't know why, and they do say you should never assume, but I did assume that by dyeing a gemstone which has got a phenomena effect, that you would lose that. In actual fact, and I'm the first person to say if I'm wrong, and I was very, very, very wrong, that phenomena effect can be enhanced. It can actually sort of add as, if you can imagine for 1 second, I don't know, a very dramatic storm at night where it's very dark. You can almost hear the winds rustling around. You can hear the intensity of the weather itself. And then all of a sudden you get a bolt of lightning, which lights up the landscape. It's almost like when that happens and it is pitch dark, that
accentuates that bolt of lightning, and you see more, don't you? It kind of, it's like, oh gosh, it's a real shock. That's what you kind of get with the colour of this gemstone. And it wasn't until a few months ago that I actually saw it for the very first time. Do you agree? And I'm frightened of lightning. It is one of the things that makes me really, really nervous. Well, I think Mother Nature is something to be not frightened of, but certainly intimidated by, and certainly in awe of. Because, first person, by the way, multi-bought on this, just because it is so big, I suppose.
Yeah.
Powerful, yeah.
Yeah, powerful. Yeah, I'm frightened of lightning as well.
Are you?
My dad got hit by lightning.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it came through the porch and bounced off the floor and hit him. Yeah, years ago, long time ago.
He's okay?
Well, he's not here anymore, but it wasn't that killed him.
he was okay
yeah,
after
he was
that?
okay, yeah, he had burns on his hands where it came out of his hands.
Gosh!
Yeah, it bounced on the floor and...
I'm not surprised you're frightened of it.
Yeah, so after that, petrified, yeah.
I'm not...
But I just think, like you say, it's such a force of nature. Well, we call it force of nature, don't we? But I have this strand at home, and this strand is a force of nature. It is amazing.
It's incredible.
Yeah. I was like you to start with, because Labradorite is one of my all-time favourites. I was like, really?
Yeah,
but then, when you see it,
I just kind of assumed, and I'm the first person to say, no, gosh, I was definitely wrong. When you get this home, let me pop it on the back of my hand, because I want you to try look at all of that labradescence, the intensities of green, silvers, and believe me, there's so much more when you actually get it home. There's less than 50 of these available. I'm not in the least bit surprised that I have got multi-buyers getting involved. I mean, look at the quality, look how it intensifies almost that fantastic phenomena effect. 100 carats, they are big, sizable rondelles, faceted to sheer perfection, 6x3 up to 10x5 millimeters. Again, lots of you there. Carol, Angela, Martha, hello to you. Hello to you, Sean, or Shian, sorry, I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, in Leicestershire. Belinda's there. Hello to you, Janet, Lynn, Ruby, another Lynn in Kent. Hello to you, Isabel. Telephone bidders with me on the phone lines. This should be incredibly $12.95. Can you remember paying that price tag for it?
No, I don't think I did. I don't think I did. Even with my little staff discount, I don't think it was
well,
that.
It's
it
not
was a lot
staying
more
at
than
that.
that.
It's not even staying at that.
Wow.
Even with your little staff discount, yeah.
$9.95.
$9.95.
Oh, if you are a Labradorite lover, you have to see this gemstone in real life.
Absolutely in awe of it, and that's the best way that I can describe the quality of the phenomena effect. Is if you can just imagine, lightning lighting up the landscape. That's what that beautiful optical effect does within these amazing rondelles.
It is. It's like the end of Harry Potter, you know, when they have the storm and the
I've never seen all the Harry Potter films.
Oh, it's like a beautiful stormy sky, and then they like the flashes from their wands and that. It's just like that. It is. It's just. But I have a little T-bar in my window where I work, and I put this on my T-bar straight away, and I was working, and every time I looked up, it was like chatting to me. I was like, I need to make something with you.
Oh, incredible. I know you're going to love it too. Well done. I mean, this is just a handful of collectors getting involved, less than 50. Hello to you, Rachel. Hello to you, Corinne. Hello to you, Surrey. Nice to be with you. Eileen, Carol in County Meath. Hello to you, Elizabeth and Somerset and Janet and Hampshire. Penny, Yaneth. Hello to you. A very good morning. Nice to have your company. It's very dramatic and intense. Do you know what I want to do with this as well? Maybe, I'm thinking this would look incredible with your next kit, but also it would look amazing with your sugar light, which is that new gemstone, because the sugar light is a very intense purple, or rather it aspires to be that intense purple, and that would look amazing with this. Stay where you are on those phone lines. Congratulations to every single one of you. Moving on, because I have got all of these. You don't get to buy chain like this every day. Have we got over 200? Okay, normally I bring you this and it's like 30 or something like that in quantity. Oh, is this, how have you managed to squirrel this away? Oh. Now, Great way of purchasing chain, the most affordable way of actually purchasing your chain, because you do get 10 meters on this leg. I'll just do maybe a meter off. There's a meter approximately, in fact there's more than that, but it is approximate because it just carried on unraveling. Bear with. How many pieces of jewellery can you create out of a 10 meter spool of gorgeous link chain? And again, we've brought you this morning sterling silver chain. This is an opportunity to get the silver plated brass, which obviously means it's going to be a little bit more affordable. Great for creating sort of designs. You've still got your precious metals in there with your silver plating. Great for creating sort of your anklets, your head chains, your longer length chains,
your body chains.
Yeah.
So you can get. Gemma made that amazing body dress that went over her, and I think she said it was quite a cheap black dress that she bought, and then just made this amazing chain dress to go over the top. But we're coming into spring, hopefully soon. I know it's snowing outside.
Fingers crossed.
But you know, a lot of the young girls like to wear belly chains.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, with their bikinis, and then you've got your, like you say, festival jewellery. Your like you were saying about a 30-inch necklace. You know, you can do these really long layered necklaces. Best thing about these spools for me is before, when I used to buy like 10 metres of chain, it would become in 10 metre length. I get 10 1 metre lengths.
Ah, yes,
so
good point.
it's not connected together.
Yeah.
So if I needed 1.5 metres, I'd have to connect it.
Yeah.
And so I'd have to use a jump ring to connect it together. Whereas now, if I need 1.5 metres, I just cut off.
Just pull off 1.5 meters. And again, they are on little spools, so you can easily suspend these. I've got, I picture sort of lots of our jewellery makers with these just sort of run through, a string run through the centre and just hanging sort of across your workbench. I've got the biggest quantity of this I've ever brought you, of any chain, and I'm not just talking of your silver plated. I mean, that is a very generic, favoured colour of jewellery, so I think it's going to be one of the most popular. However, like I said, it does tend to be maybe more your 30s opportunities like that where it's last in stock. Well done to those of you that have already made those confirmations. You've got that open link, so 4 by 3 millimeters, so it's really substantial. Great to create sort of all of the above that we were mentioning previously, but also you can create your your charm bracelets with these, because there's nothing stopping you linking charms or additions, gemstones, whichever it might be, your rosary links onto these to create a fantastic sort of cluster style.
If you had those 3 adventurine pendants from the very first thing we did, you could make a big necklace and have it on 3 different layers.
Oh, that's a nice idea.
And have like one that's like a 17-inch, one that's 19, and then one that's 22-inch. So you sort of like graduate it down.
That's because they were ever so slightly graduated. You know, I can't give you the exact dimension, but yeah, you could have created that fantastic design. Well done to all. Look, I'm not surprised. Loads of you there on the web. Do they know something that I don't? Well, you can see this, apparently, $7.95. However, coming your way, lowest price point, not $7.95, 200 of these are available. They shan't be for very, very long. If you've just tuned in, you're going to need to have your wits about you because it is busy, busy, busy this morning. That's less than 70 pence per metre. I mean, a metre, you can get 2 necklaces and a bracelet at least.
You can't even buy ribbon for that price.
No, that's true. You can't buy ribbon.
This is sterling silver on top of brass.
Well, you can't buy a chocolate bar for 70 pence.
No, you can't. No, I found that out.
Yeah, I find it out regularly.
Yeah. I was quite shocked at how much. And a bag of crisps.
I know. Yeah. And a drink, absolutely. I mean, you know, you're getting beautiful jewellery here that is going to last. Again, you know, you can create so many different designs. I love what they call a stacker bracelet, so creating that sort of layered up look. Yeah,
lovely that look. I really like that look. But also as well, you can macrame with chain. You can, I don't know if you remember, we did a lariat show together, and I just took some wire and I just wove in and out of it all and made a real structural piece of chain.
It's a nice
with
idea.
Then lots of tassels underneath. But yeah, you can use it for all sorts.
Going back to that show, actually, you think about it, we did a show designated to the lariat necklace. A lariat necklace is pretty much a long length which you can loop around, wear it various different ways. So it's kind of multi-wearable, for want of a better expression. Anyway, I'm trying to think on that lariat show. we didn't have a bigger quantity of these.
No, we didn't have these. Yeah, we just had.
I don't think we had them at all, did we?
We just had metre long length. So again, I was limited. Yeah. I could only use a metre length in one design.
Even on our lariat show.
Yeah. Whereas with this, I could have made
endless,
a lot more chain heavy pieces, if you like. And it's because it's the same link all the way through as well, which is what I love, because I love continuity as well within a piece.
It's
so
everything in order again.
It is everything in order.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's fabulous, and you will always use it. Extender chains, you'll always use it.
The most affordable way of buying chain, without shadow of a doubt, 10 metres of, and again, I'm not surprised you're multi-buying, because I could probably count on one hand the amount of times I've ever seen that quantity. Well done, well done, well done. Moving on to... Oh, adjustable rings. So, you can make chain rings.
Yeah. You can
they are very popular.
Yeah, hand wrist adornments.
Hand wrist adornments, yeah, absolutely. Just looping that link of chain all the way around, creating a really textured piece with these. They're fantastic. I always talk about our adjustable chains and how, to me, they are quality. I hate, with a vengeance, those adjustable rings. And I think Kim knows not to schedule. In fact, do we even stock them here? I don't know. I've never seen them. I don't know if we do. But I really don't like those adjustable... Listen, it's each to their own. I don't like those adjustable rings that have got those ugly teeth.
That pinch your skin.
Yeah. I just think they're an eyesore. And why? Why do they have to have those teeth? I don't get it. They're sharp. They're more flimsy. They are a bit stabby. They're going to catch in your clothing. Why can't they all be like this? Sorry. Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. But you know what I mean? I don't think it's necessary to have those little teeth. And to me, this is more beautiful. And, you know, I've even sold those teeth expandable jewellery. I won't say where, but, you know, yeah, I have in the past. To me, this is more this is a higher quality.
Yeah, it is. This is a more finesse way of making it adjustable.
Absolutely, and of course, it doesn't have to stay as your bracelets. They can be stretched out into sort of identity style bracelets. Or pendant styles.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can stretch them out, have them like you say, have them as a pendant. You can, you know, if you've got a Dremel or one of the hole punches, you could punch a hole in it to connect them together.
Right.
Although there's quite a lot of metal there, I'd probably use a Dremel rather than the hole punch, just because the amount of metal you're going to go through. But no, there's lots you can do with these, a lot, because I've seen a lot of fashion at the minute is to wear midi rings. So and then with chain going to the ring in the traditional ring. So you could have one in middle finger, one at the bottom of your finger, and then chain to attach both of them together. Absolutely.
Now, I've got quite small fingers, so I've pushed this not quite as far as it can go, but yeah, this is what Fleur's actually referring to, where you wear the rings. If you're wondering what a midi ring is, bear with us if you do know. It's where you're wearing the rings like so, and given the fact that they are adjustable, means you can swap them around. They're very, very versatile, and that's it. So if you can imagine the chains, yeah, absolutely, coming down the length of the hand, that would look lovely, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would
with gemstones really nice. Sort of suspended. Yeah. Again, goes back to sort of your festival jewellery style.
Yeah, it does.
Which is bang on trend. Marie, Lynn, hello to you, Cheyenne, hello to you, Tracy, Leslie, Wendy, Jenny, Jana, Lynn, another Anne, well done to you, nice to have your company over in Belfast. Derbyshire's with me as well. All the web bidders checking out, everybody on the web has checked out. Wendy, Jenny, Anne-Marie, congratulations, just got a few of you with it in your baskets now. I'm guessing again it's something that you can see that I can't necessarily as of yet. You do get 10 with the 3 loops at the top, which means you can create maybe get some rondelle gemstones. It doesn't have to be rondelles, but create fantastic clusters of multi-gems. Yeah. You can attach various charms onto them. Yeah, you can. I mean, you don't have to, you can wire up straight onto them. You can use your monofilament and create that cocktail style clustering with them. Like you say, you can make chain tassels from them, put charms directly on them, and if you do just have a look on the internet, and they are everywhere. I've seen lots of rings with little charms on them, you know, so a nice little gemstone. I probably wouldn't go any bigger than a 6mm round for me personally, you know, just because I think that'd sit nicely as a charm. Yeah, I agree. Just hanging, and then just use I'd use a 5mm jump rings
to attach them to, so you've not got a really large jump ring that will take away from that charm.
Absolutely lovely. And again, if you're thinking about your craft fairs, and I mean, you can these are going to obviously fit more people, given the fact that they are universal sizes. I mean, they go right the way up and right the way down. Let's bring that price tag in. Hello to you, Isle of Man. Hello to you, Belinda, Sylvia, Christine. Hello to you, Hazel. Should be £4.95. That's 49p each. 49p. I mean, how inexpensive would it be to create some beautiful jewellery which has got movement in, which very few jewellers can do, by the way. It's if you think about all of the jewellers where there's gemstone movement in there, Piaget springs to mind, Chopard, where you've got those floating diamonds, springs to mind. I mean, the prices. Glenlera hasn't got necessarily moving gemstones, but it's got light moving internally with his cut. It tends to be something, movement, gemstones, two beautiful things that work wonderfully together, means you're going to see more pleochroism, more triachroism. It's only going to add to the beauty of your gems. Absolutely incredible, and yet 39 pence for one of these. Absolutely incredible. Again, you can do suites of jewellery with this. What
I would do is I'd take two out and I'd experiment on two. So I'd experiment by turning the loops, you know, the other way, so they sit flat to the ring, you know, so they face like landscape rather than portrait. So you can then attach your chain coming down the hand. I'd have a little go at pulling one out and, you know, seeing if I could hammer it, get some texture on there. And that's what I always do when I get things like this. I always take two and I always experiment.
Yeah, have a little experiment. I mean, like, say, if you're multi-buying as well, I mean, they're going to go a long way, aren't they? Yeah, I totally agree. Why not at that price tag? Again, just one on a bracelet and just some connecting chain, if you just got that earlier. I mean, look how well that goes.
Yeah. Lovely together.
They do look lovely together. Loads of you there. Very busy. Do check out as soon as you can. Need to move on. Don't want to take those off because I love a stacker ring. And you can find them in lots of big jewellery house designers, by the way, the stacker rings. I've previously sold them for hundreds of pounds.
Do you know what you could do? If you had three, you could have lots of chain linking each ring to each ring, so you've just got three rings and lots of chain going across.
That would be fab, wouldn't it?
That'd be very...
And how much would you pay for that in a jewellery establishment? Yeah, even if it was a base metal.
Yeah, you'd pay a lot of money. Even if you went to a fashion store, you know, clothes store, you'd pay a lot of money just for a fashion piece of jewellery like that.
You would, without doubt. Bear with me a second. I'm just grabbing all of these beautiful sterling silver jump rings. It is these, isn't it? The big ones. Oh, these are lovely. Big jump rings, 9mm in size. Solid sterling silver. So again, I mean, this is for your luxury. If you're a chain mailer, then you'll obviously need to multi-buy if you're thinking about investing in any one sterling silver solid piece. And I would certainly recommend, if you do take 9mm, and I'll lean to Fleur in a second for what 9mm and different weaves you can use, but have it valued, because this is precious metal on precious metal, stamped 925, 20 pieces. So, I mean, we were talking about that specific designer that uses exactly this, jump rings on a bit of elastic. If you were to use a chain mail link or design, what are the 9mm appropriate for? And dare I ask, how many would we need? And dare I ask, what do you think it would be valued at?
Okay, so the one that I always talk about when we have the 9mm in the sterling silver is the Tau flower, which takes 19 jump rings. So you've got one left over to hang it with, and that, for me as a pendant, is about £35 to £40 with a little gemstone in the middle on a chain. So with all of that, you can do those. Mobius rings, like I've just shown, three jump rings to make a Mobius ring. Those and a pair of earrings, you know, you're talking high end. I did a show with some sterling silver in last week, and I just made 3 Mobius rings and popped it on a sterling silver chain, and it looked very amazing, very beautiful. Your double cloud cover is another one that takes 10 jump rings to make your double cloud cover. So you can do, again, a pair of earrings.
So we're talking sort of, £10 tens of pounds at least, sort of 20, 30, 40 pounds at least, because this is 925 sterling silver. It's rare, and you have got your gold plated over the top. You've got that precision cut as well. So 9mm, so the bigger dimension engaged, which we don't see every single day, and you can easily make pendants out of this one opportunity. Yeah, do think about that, but maybe you're thinking of treating yourself to an investment piece of jewellery. Maybe you've been mastering chain mail along with Fleur, you know, Fleur's tuition over so many weeks or months, whichever it might be, or even years. But now you're thinking, yeah, I'm confident, I can invest in the sterling silver, and I want to make myself that most amazing sterling silver bracelet piece. Please do go on and get it. Sort of, well, do your research. I know it costs money to have valuations, things like that, but it's worth it just because of the sheer gram weight.
Yeah, it is. I mean, that size is perfect as well for the helm weave. So we're going to do some helm weave in the next kit. So you need a smaller jump ring as well. So either a 5 or a 7mm to go with it to make the helm weave. But a pure helm weave, you can a pendant. You'd use all of them in a pendant, and it creates a really lovely helm flower. That
would be amazing, wouldn't it? Well done, Chris, Diane, Hazel, straight away. I've got multi-buyers there. I think lots of you thinking, yeah, I'd love to create exactly what Fleur's describing. And I've seen all of these designs, and they are beautiful. Yeah, they're really, really beautiful.
And, you know, if you didn't want to multi-buy, if you did want to do the half Persian 3-in-1 and use these, you would get quite a section of chainmail just from 20.
Okay,
you get because of any flat weave, you basically making the diameter of the jump ring, because it's only very slightly overlapping. So if you were to lay them all out, and then with a half Persian 3-in-1, you just double it up. So if you laid 10 out, that's the amount of room that you'd make in chainmail.
So hang on, I'm going to assume, I know I shouldn't assume, I know we've already covered that, but that there's loads of people. Do you want to make a sterling silver chainmail design at home? If you're saying yes, fantastic. So this is one of the most affordable sterling silver chainmail methods, and it's the half Persian, did you say?
Half Persian 3-in-1, because it's a very open weave, and each jump ring, it takes 2 jump rings to create the same diameter of the jump ring itself, if you like. So if you were to take, if they're 9mm jump rings, if you were to put them all out, put 10 all in a row, you're going to create 90mm of chainmail, which is 9 centimetres. So you're going to create a nice section of half Persian 3, and it'll be very open and very lovely, but it will hold its structure. It won't fall, you know, it won't, because sometimes when we make chainmail with a larger jump ring size, it can like collapse a little bit. Half Persians, because they're flat weaves, they're going to create beautiful.
So really, you're not going to need to buy many of these, you know, to create that sterling silver chainmail piece. And like I said, we're just using one example here, folks, but just as an example, Arthur has just bought 6. Well done to you, Arthur. Again, you're not alone multi-buying. Already lots of you making those confirmations. Solid 925 sterling silver. If it's in those baskets, do check out $7.95. You can see, I can feel the actual gram weight. You know, it is an average gram weight. It's at the bottom of your screens, but you can see how substantial it is. And again, if you were to invest in maybe just a couple of these, you know, if you think about it, 7, 14, 21. So take less than £25. If you were to buy 3 packs, 60 jump rings, you can make a bracelet out of that.
Yeah, you'd make a bracelet. It would be about just under 7 inches if you made it out of 60, but then with your clasp as well, you'd get that traditional like 7-inch bracelet. But even if you were just using Mobius flowers, you're going to take 6 for a pair of earrings. So there we go. You create 3 pairs of earrings
for £7.95, solid sterling silver.
And I can't find anywhere 9-carat gold wire with sterling silver core. You can buy gold filled, which is completely different. But to find the wire to actually physically make them yourself, and then you've got to precision cut them, then you've got to tumble them, and then you've got to polish them before you can even start to use them. That's hours worth of work. And you can buy them for £7.95.
£7.95 today. Again, needless to say, lots of you choosing to get more than one of these. Well done. Nice to be with you. Let's move on. I've got an opportunity to squeeze in one more bundle. Don't forget, we are going back to Fleur with designer inspiration, and we've got home decor. Which I'm really excited about. Sorry, box. What was it? Oh yeah. Now this is amazing. Who loves their colour? I was referring earlier on this morning that quartz as a gemstone has got quite rough crystals, so it can really hold on to colour. So this is quartzite. So have you ever wondered or noticed that quartzite tends to be some of the most amazingly intense, beautiful colour spectrums? So you've got a trio bundle here of quartzite, and it is your blackcurrant jam. Oh gosh, that's just made my mouth water. Oh, some blackcurrant jam on some toast with butter.
I don't like jam on toast.
You don't like jam on toast?
No, I'm more of that other one that half people like and half people don't.
I can't believe you just said that.
I like jam in donuts.
You like jam and donuts?
Yeah.
Why don't you like it on toast then?
No, I don't like sweet and savoury together.
Oh, okay.
So I don't like pineapple and ham pizzas. Don't like that.
Would you like jam on brioche?
No. Well, I don't know. Actually, I like it on
Brioche is
scones as long as they're plain scones, because I don't like sultanas or currants or anything like that.
Oh my gosh!
I know I'm really picky with my food.
I'll have yours.
Yeah.
I'll have yours. Do you know what I bought the other day? My mum actually used to date him back. There's a certain brand of jams that's very big in the UK. My mum, well, I say date him, she was 5. She said he was my first boyfriend. Yeah, like, should have stuck in there, Mum. Only joking, darling, I'm joking. Yeah, but there was a type of jam that we bought for Christmas, and it was passion fruit. Oh my goodness, it's amazing. Stop it, I need jam now. I need some jam on toast. Black, you can see the colours. I mean, look, you can understand the name of the bundle when you see these gorgeous gemstones. It is very, very, very rich and sweet and juicy. Your quartzite you have got here, 10mm, 12mm, and also 14mm. And they go, well, they're in excess of 4-figure carat weight, so over 1,000 carats. What would you do with these? Because they're a bit of fun. They're not taking themselves too seriously.
I'd knot in between them with a 0.9 Eslon. And if you want to practice your knotting, these are perfect for practicing. And they look really lovely when they're knotted as well. Yeah. Because they've got that nice fluid drape to them as well. Stretchy bracelets. Yeah, definitely perfect. Stretchy bracelets. Maybe if you've got a contrasting colour to go with them as well, you know, in your stash, I'd maybe put even a black spinel in the middle, maybe. Yeah, amazing. You know, something like that. But yeah, definitely I'd have nice, big, chunky summer jewellery. And these for me would be perfect with your nice maxi dress and your beach bag and your wedges.
Absolutely.
And a nice big flash of colour.
Idea. Love that idea. Yeah, it's not taking itself too seriously. It's not trying to be, oh, you know, it's not like, this is not like a Zarite, or it's not like, I don't know, an Imperial Topaz that I've got coming up later on. It's a gemstone which is more of an everyday wear. You know, it's going to be one of those that you go to more, excuse me, frequently. You know, one of those that you think, yeah, this is great for a barbecue, great for the beach, great for the poolside, great for the shops, great for the office. Absolutely. I love it. And you've got a 4-figure carat weight here of your blackcurrant jam. I'm so craving some jam on toast right now. 14.85 is where we should be. Not today. Wow, this is an affordable price tag. Wow, wow, wow. $6.95?
And do you know that would be jewellery that you'd wear all the time? Because it's not your precious jewellery, so you wouldn't be that, oh, I can't wear that to the shops in case I lose it. You would grab this kind of jewellery all the time. I do. I always, if I want just a splash of colour, I don't ever put my really expensive things on. I choose my nice, fun colour pops.
I'm just thinking, you know, yes, Kim, do it. Kim's like, should we get some delivered, some bread and jam? Yes, please. I'd love that. I would love you forever. Well, I love you anyway, but you know what I mean. Sorry, I totally digressed. I heard the mention of food and I was like, yes. I'm thinking a wedding day or something like that, because purple does tend to be a colour you wear you see quite a lot of weddings.
That's it. And if you put that with some rose gold or some gold spacer beads, you'd really make that a classic piece of jewellery as well. So you can make it very grown up, or you can make it as festival-y or as, you know, colour pop as you like, or colour clash if you've got some, I don't know, bright green or something like that. Something to go with
that would be lovely, green.
Yeah.
Can you imagine this like in maybe your bouquets, in with your with your flowers?
Yeah.
Imagine this in sort of your home decor, which we're going to be talking about in the next hour. Stunning. Loads and loads and loads of you there. Congratulations to every single one of you on those flown 9s and with me on the web. Lovely to have your company. Love that. I'm just so craving jam now. Sorry, it's not just me. It's not just the pregnancy. I've now made everybody want jam on toast. And probably lots of people at home. Are you now? I can hear all the toasters clicking right up and down the UK. Put one in for me, please. Now we have got more inspiration coming your way with the wonderful Fleur. This is all about, we're talking about home decoration, which is coming your way in a few moments' time. But before that, we have got your next style buy.
We here at Jewellery Maker love to hear your feedback. So working in conjunction with FIFO, a global ratings and reviews provider, when you purchase a product from JM, you will receive an email asking you to rate our service and our products. This helps us to bring you excellent customer service and ensure we're bringing you value for money and high quality goods. Have your say with Jewellery Maker FIFO reviews.
Do you want to tell everyone about the great purchase you've made from Jewellery Maker? Do you want to shout about the great service you've received? Then why not download the Jewellery Maker's Viewer's Voice app, available for iPhone or Android, and record a video that could be played on Jewellery Maker. Simply search Jewellery Maker Viewer's Voice in the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store and download our Viewer's Voice app straight to your phone or tablet. You can record as many videos as you like and send them straight to us here at Jewellery Maker. All you have to do is then carry on watching us as usual and wait for your video to be played. Download the JM Viewer's Voice app and you could be the next face we see here on Jewellery Maker.
Get creative with Mark Smith with his Craft Fair DVD. Mark guides you through 6 sections of fascinating techniques that sell the best on his very own successful craft fairs. He concludes this DVD by sharing his own tips and hints that make his own stalls very popular. To get your hands on a copy of this fantastic DVD, contact our call centre on 0800 644 655. Get creative with Jewellery Maker.
Labradorite is an incredibly popular gemstone here at Jewellery Maker. As a member of the Feldspar family, this particular gemstone shows beautiful blue flashes as light hits the internal structure. The different layers that make up this structure give rise to really interesting colour play on the surface of the gemstone. The most usual colours we see are blue to violet, but you can also see flashes of orange and red. It's optical properties such as these that gives gemstones the edge, as these properties cannot be simulated by man.
There are 4 easy ways to stay in touch with Jewellery Maker. You can like our Facebook page and join a community of over 54,000 people. You can follow us on Twitter and tweet us your messages and opinions, send photos of your designs and enter our Wall of Fame competition. Or if you need any help or advice, you can email our friendly help team. Make sure to get involved and stay up to date with Jewellery Maker.
Welcome back, everybody. Nice to have your company this morning. My name is Ellen, you're watching Jewellery Maker. Now, this, for me, is not just another opportunity. This is a privilege. And it might sound a little bit of an exaggeration, but truly it's not. When I say that I'm honoured to bring certain gemstones because they are so abundantly scarce, I genuinely, hand on heart, do mean it. Now, one of the finest documentations that I've ever read about this very gemstone is actually on the Gemporia website, the learning library. So I would highly recommend anybody that loves rarity, gets really excited about owning something of a massively intrinsic value, then download that document. I did so this morning. Here it is. It was written by Matt Bennett himself, so Steve Bennett's son, who is a gemologist. It is a good document, isn't it? Have you read it, Ryan? Yeah. I mean, it is very, very, very rich in information. But one of the things that Matt speaks about within this, and it was on his visit to the Brazilian mine, which is, I can't say for certain if it's the Ouro Preto, but Brazil is probably the most globally renowned, and that's where this strand is from. Before I even show you the quality, be on those phone lines. Be on those phone lines for this, because the reality is Imperial Topaz can and does fetch 4 figures per carat, and more often than not, that is actually the case. Now, so you think, one of the world's rarest gemstones obviously commands one of the highest price points in the industry. So you would think that this is maybe quite small scale in terms of its mining, similar to maybe your Paraiba tourmaline or your Paparacha sapphire. You wouldn't think that there is huge investment into the machinery of the gemstone because so little comes out of the ground. Does that make sense to you? Well, Matt writes, and again, I want to read this to you, and I'm doing this deliberately because I think there's no better documentation that I found out there about Imperial Topaz. So Matt's saying, I was struck by the fact that whilst not on the same scale as the emerald mines that I have visited in Zambia, in Itabira, what struck me was when I arrived at this specific mine in Brazil was how vast it is, when considering how little of the gem is actually unearthed. Without doubt, Imperial Topaz is one of the rarest gemstones on the entire planet. And before I arrived at the mine, I had envisaged that mining would be carried out on a very small scale, so just reiterating what I've just said. When you see how large the operation actually is and how little of the gem is actually unearthed, you begin to appreciate the rarity and also just how expensive it is. The mining equipment, particularly in this current century, is ever increasing. High fuel prices. Most of the equipment runs off diesel, but in particular, this is the part which I really, really wanted to read to you. These days, most miners, unfortunately, do put more cash into the ground than actually what they take out. A very good friend of Steve Bennett and Matt Bennett's, actually, who does search for Imperial Topaz in this area, actually said, now, there is a specific mine in this region that has never extracted a single piece of Imperial Topaz. It's not necessarily that they've been unlucky, and considering that this gentleman is one of the wealthiest gentlemen in America, so it's not necessarily a business, it's an investment to him. He bought the mine a few years back for a substantial sum of money. Now, what you don't see is that he actually considers this not just an investment. This isn't a business opportunity. He obviously values gemstones. He believes that he is sitting on the ultimate treasure chest. And I totally agree with that. And do you know what? He's actually thinking, and he's actually said this to Jose, who Matt was discussing about this very gemstone. He loves the fact that he is sat on that big treasure chest. He actually doesn't mind that very little is coming out of the ground, because if it does, then obviously it's going to go on to be sold. At least this way, he actually owns all of that Imperial Topaz. But yes, more is invested into this gemstone than actually comes out in the ground more often than not. That is why it is a gemstone that you will see in your Chopards, in your Van Cleef & Arpels, in your Harry Winstons, in your big jewellery houses, but they tend to be sort of the showstopper pieces, the one-of-a-kind designs, because it is an extremely high-end gemstone. gemstone. I have got no idea what this is actually going to. No idea whatsoever. But the fact that this is totally and utterly natural, sometimes it's irradiated to bring out that very distinctive papradacha sunset golden colour, it's absolutely amazing. This is a natural strand and the colour is absolutely perfect. If there is one strand, I can't say that any gemstone or any strand, any opportunity here this afternoon, this morning rather, is an investment. I'm not a financial advisor. I can't read into the future. However, whenever I bring Imperial Topaz, it's not just something that I'll go home and think, wow, yeah, that was amazing. I will think about it for months, if not years. Now, for anybody that is watching right now and you're thinking about future generations, you're thinking about legacy, you're thinking about heirloom jewellery, this is one of those. Yeah, I put it into the same category as your papradacha sapphire, and I'm not just talking about the similarities and how it looks. I'm talking about your Paraiba tourmaline, I'm talking about your Czarite, I'm talking about your Alexandrite. This is in that same scale and league, and when you've got quality like this, you know, it's more often than not seen at hugely considered price tag. I've got no idea what this is going to. How many have we got of these? How many? 54 in stock. This for me is an absolute no-brainer. I can't afford to miss out on this opportunity. 57 carats of natural Imperial Topaz. Have you ever watched a showcase on what was our sister channels of Imperial Topaz? Up until about 6 months ago, I think it was, up until about 6 months ago, we'd only ever, and I was saying we, Gemporia, had only ever designed 137 different designs of pieces with this very gemstone. I mean, you think, we've done more quad A tanzanite designs than that, we've done more Paraiba tourmaline designs than that, only ever actually designed 137 different pieces of Imperial Topaz. It is, without shadow of a doubt, one of those that I would really encourage you download that wonderful documentation that Matt Bennett wrote, direct from the Ouro Preto mine in Brazil. Imperial Topaz, it's all on the Gemporia Learning Library. It still is the best document that I've ever read, and it tells you, really indicates what you look for and the real rarity of it. We're going to bring that price tag in. Like I said previously, every bone in my body tells me that quality like this could be hugely considered. $44.95. I'd pay that and then some for one of those rondelles. I truly, truly, truly would. And every bone in my body is, I mean, I'm a little bit erratic right now just because of the excitement of this. I know you love your jade. Jade is a very, very, very rare gemstone and one of the most valuable gemstones. But again, it's in that league. It's in that scale. Do you agree?
Yeah, it is. And I was saying on Wednesday night, I'm starting to become a gemstone geek now as well, and I really, really love these gemstones and the history that behind them. So for me, I would buy this, and I would take a few off the end just to use in a piece, but I would keep the majority of it as my sample of the best Imperial Topaz I've ever seen, because I've only seen it in like small chips
tiny,
and nuggets.
Tiny chips, yeah, I agree. I mean, look at the sheer size. You've got that definition of pink as well here. Can you see that? The blush of pink. The best way to describe Imperial Topaz, I can't believe it's natural, it is natural, is you want sort of that sunset hue, you want that papradacha sapphire kind of golden with a flash of blush coming through. Just absolutely astonishing. Natural Imperial Topaz from probably the most sought after location of this gemstone in the world. And yeah, Imperial Topaz is the most sought after of all the topaz. Like I said, can and does fetch 4-figure price tags more often than not. You've got that 30-day money back guarantee. Get this home, do your research. If you want to ask me any questions about this gemstone, I would absolutely welcome it wholeheartedly, because I love being able to bring it. And again, please do download that document that Matt wrote. It's amazing, and again, it's not hard to read. It's not a hard reading document, and it's very wordy, but it tells you everything about the reasons, justifies the reasons of this wonderful gemstone, the price that it does command. Now, it's time for your gorgeous, gorgeous designer inspiration. I love these. You know, we had medieval, first of all. I'm just imagining these on a big banquet table, Fleur.
Yeah. So I thought straight away I wanted to do something for Valentine's Day, you know, like a candlestick.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, I'm praying for spring, and I like outdoor eating, so maybe a little tea light holder for barbecue tables and things like that. So I thought that's where I wanted to go with
What a lovely gift.
Yeah, exactly, and very cheap to make, as in like the jam jar and the... See, if you had the jam, you could be eating the jam, I could have made another one. Jam jar and a wine bottle.
We're all blatantly going to go from here to our local supermarket and have jam on toast after the show, aren't we? Blatantly going to do that. So this is your home accessories. You have got 3 lots, and these are beautiful, a sort of very pale rose blush. Yeah. I'm right in describing it that way. It is a rose cut gold. It's called rose gold, but it's actually more of a baby pink colour is the best way that I can actually describe it. Now you have got, there it is, 3 different sizes. Let me just see. You've got 200 of each of them, 5mm, 7mm and 9mm, which does tend to be the gauge that Fleur uses most in her weaves. Weaves, is that the right word?
Yeah, weaves, yeah.
Yeah, so 200 of each. You can easily make pieces of jewellery just out, you know, what did you say, 130 is the average?
Yeah, between about 130 to 150 if you wanted to make an average bracelet. Yeah.
There we go. And also you've got all of these wonderful head pins, which I've not seen before. They kind of remind me of, you can imagine them maybe within floral bouquets, etc., because they're quite domed. Can you see that?
They've got like a bead cap on the end.
They have.
They're fabulous, aren't they?
So a lovely shine, a wonderful lustre across the surface. And you've got of these, let me see, they're 50mm, 4mm bead cap on the top, and there's 100 in total, so they're going to go a long way. If you're watching the first demonstration, you'd have seen Fleur actually create sort of clasps.
Yep.
So you can easily use these for that too. But we're still not done. We've got more to bring you, including stunning peacock pearls and wonderful labradorite. I think labradorite alongside that blush pink.
Yeah, it picks up some of the colours.
It really does, fascinating. Look at these for peacock pearls. Peacock pearls, we've brought you with a very intense inky colour, and these are a little bit softer. They kind of go along with the softness of the jump rings, don't they?
They do.
And of course, genuine gemstones, they can be all different hues. With pearls, which can be influenced with a dye, they can be very dark, almost indigo, or like this, more of a sort of your pastel peacock tones.
They've got lots of like pastel pinks and like lilacs and some beautiful greens coming across these. Very nice, beautiful pearls to work with as well.
Yeah, I bet, and they really do show off in the designs that you've created as well, which we'll get to in just a few seconds. Then we've also got these faceted labradorites here, which are from 3 to 4mm. So wonderful labradescence, again, great for your home decor designs, great for great size for with your chain maille.
Yeah,
you were saying that earlier on. Work wonderfully with all of the different sizes of your jump rings. Last but by no means least, we have got another labradorite strand. Look at all of that labradescence coming through. Flashes of silver, gold, blues and pinks. And these are, let me see, 95 carats, and they go from 5 to 8mm, and it's a 21cm strand. So lots of gorgeous gemstones coming along with all of these beautiful findings. But can you see why these are a little bit more dusky pink?
Yeah, they are. They've always got like that morganite, pinky, like
not quite as coppery as rose gold sometimes is.
It's a very subtle rose gold.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful, but it goes with the rose gold perfectly. The two together look absolutely beautiful together.
And goes wonderfully with these head pins as well. So if you're thinking, okay, well, if mixing this with my other findings, is that gonna be mismatched? Actually, no. You will see that combination work beautifully. So just to recap, you're getting 200 each of your different sizes of your jump rings. They are open jump rings as well. Then you get 100 of your head pins, stunning graduations and faceted labradorite strands, and also your lovely pastel-esque peacock pearls. Home accessories is, it doesn't have to be home accessories, of course, but I love the inspiration. I like the fact that we can, mix things up a little bit, not just decorating ourselves, but also decorating our lovely homes. Should be £53.65. Wow, a big reduction coming your way. No way near your price tag. It's one of the biggest reductions of the entire morning so far. Not $53.65, $29.95. You've got 600 jump rings here.
Do you know, I put on my Guest Designer Facebook page yesterday that this Labradorite is the best Labradorite I've ever worked with. It's the most awesome Labradorite. There
we go. From Guest Designer Fleur, as you were working with it?
As I was working with it. Well, when I finished, straight away, so I like to say what little teasers I've got for the kits, and I just say that this is the most awesome Labradorite I've ever worked with.
Wow, wow, high praise. And you can see why, can't you? I mean, look at the intensities of labradescence coming through. Your first kit sold out entirely, and I think this is going to be exactly the same. Looking at just how many of you are with me, we only have 66, so this is even more limited, and you've got one of the biggest price reductions of the morning so far. Jackie, Karen, Linda, Hampshire, Cynthia, Maxine, Angela, South Yorkshire, Susan, Sharon, you've got yours. Lots of web bits still in your baskets. I love that colour of jump ring.
It is lovely, really lovely.
It's not quite so coppery, it's more pinky. Absolutely incredible. Now, let's go over and have a chat with the lovely Fleur, who's going to give us wonderful inspiration, as always. But what we'll do is show your fantastic wine bottle. Why the wine bottle, Fleur?
I don't know. I just had one to hand.
Did you have a few knocking around?
I had one to hand.
I'm only asking because I'm really jealous.
Do you know what? I didn't actually have one, and I went to the recycling bin and there wasn't one in that either, and so I had to go and buy a bottle, and then we had to drink it on Sunday night so that I could have it for the show today.
Obviously. Well, that makes sense.
I didn't eat the jam. Fiona Potter gave me the jam jar.
That makes sense. I'd have eaten the jam.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can't do the wine at the moment, but next time.
Next time I'll
I'll helpfully oblige.
Yeah.
These are beautiful. Look how it falls. And I love that.
Although I've done home decor, each of these weaves, they are jewellery weaves as well. You know, you can do jewellery with them, but you can also adorn your house. And I just wanted to, because the Labradorite was so amazing, I wanted something with like light that would like flicker and pick up all the labradorescence. So that's why I thought I'm going to do two different kinds of tea light holder, and that is just one of those fake tea lights, you know, that have got a little battery in it. So because with children and dogs and that, I'm not allowed candles.
Absolutely amazing. So I just stepped aside because I was thinking I might be a bit of a distraction there in the background, but absolutely beautiful colour. And that, again, that rose with the contrast of the green, just going to be lovely. Imagine that on your on your table when you've got guests around.
Just be nice, wouldn't it? You know, just so, because sometimes you have to look around your house, because I think wine bottles make beautiful candlesticks anyway.
I do as well,
And especially now we can get candles that don't drip wax, because I wouldn't want any wax to drip on my, you know, pearls and the Labradorite there. So you can get those non-drip candles now. So, but they do look, I just think they look fabulous. And like I say, the jam jar as well, you know, just have those on your table, just to have them, you know, just to, because although they look nice, just pretty in jam jars, to put something around them.
Yeah, absolutely. The little trinket really box. You could use it on that, couldn't you? Or maybe, I don't know, a lampshade or something very Tiffany-esque.
Yeah, my mum said to do a lampshade, but I couldn't find one in time to do a lampshade. But I would love to do a chain maille lampshade.
I bet that would be amazing, wouldn't it? Fantastic. Wow, okay, $29.95. So what is it you're going to be demonstrating?
We're going to do the little tea light.
Do the little tea light? Because that could easily be transported into a bracelet, couldn't it?
Yeah, so it's an adapted helms weave.
Okay.
So it's just the helms weave with little, what we call Celtic wings on the side, and then connected together, and then using the head pins to create this, almost like a little drum.
Yeah,
effect.
It does look. Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah, like
so these are the head pins also that comes out of the kit.
Yeah. So they're all the head pins as well, and then the Labradorite and a few little pearls. But I have got a lot left in this kit, because I've got a lot of the head pins left.
Oh yeah, you have
and
loads
a few of the
left
pearls
over.
And Labradorite. I've got no jump rings left. That's where I have to stop. As soon as I run out of jump rings, I have to stop.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have got lots. So there's lots in this kit. It's a great kit, great value.
I know we're talking about home decoration specifically, but I'm just thinking this would be a lovely anklet.
Yes, it
this
would.
weave, just because you've got that, I suppose, angle. I guess like the you can imagine it falling. Lovely. That would be amazing.
And you can see now what we were saying about those because these are the 9mm jump rings in the helms weave. How when you do a flat weave, they sit side by side. You're not you can create quite a length with those 20.
They go a lot further, don't they?
Yeah, so you could do this weave in the ones that we've done before, just with some smaller ones as accents.
Fabulous. Okay, so
what we need to do is we need to make our... traditionally a helm weave is 2 in 2 to start with, but what I've done to make my jump rings go further, I've used just 1 jump ring in the helm's weave in the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a 2 in 1 chain. So I'm just going to start with 1 large jump ring. So this is the 9 and the 7 that I've used. So I've got 1 large jump ring and I've added 1 small jump ring onto it and close. And then I'm going to double this jump ring up because helm weave is a jump ring sandwich, so we need 2 slices of bread. So there are bread.
Oh, you're back to bread
back,
again.
back on the jump ring sandwiches. Okay, and now to carry on, I'm going to add on another of the 9mm jump rings through the 7mm jump ring before I close that one up. Add another small jump ring, and again double that up. And you're just going to do a few of those, and you're going to do that for the length of whatever you want it to be. So if you do want it to be something for home decor, have it to hand, like your jam jar, or if you're going to do this around your bottle, have it to hand so you can always keep measuring it up against it. Yeah. Because it has to fit quite snugly around there. Now, if I wanted to, I could put some chains either side and hang this as well. So if I had some chain in the kit or more jump rings, I would have made some chains to hang it from, so it needs to be quite snug. And the best thing about jam jars is they have these rims around them. Now you can put some ribbon around there if you don't like the rawness of the actual top, but you can.
It's all the rage now, isn't it? In these like sort of bars and boutiques to drink out of jam jars.
I saw that somebody had some cocktails in some soup cans.
Yeah, it's all the rage now.
What was that?
What was that? Sorry. Kim has just said she had a cocktail in jam jar and had a sprig of rosemary. That sounds amazing. It just kind of reminds me like Bloody Marys, you know, with your veg and your mint and your celery in there.
Celery stick, yeah.
Love it, love it, yeah. They're quite rustic, aren't they? I think it's a great idea, but yeah, I can imagine these suspended.
Yeah,
they could be fantastic.
I mean, I've got a lovely apple tree in my garden, and I've got a couple of these that I put in the tree when we're outside. And they look really lovely.
I want to come to your house.
And
I want to come to your house with the apple tree.
Yeah, although I had to buy these battery candles because Mark was convinced I was going to burn the tree down.
Okay.
So, yeah, I probably would have.
I used to do something similar actually. In my old house we had a big oak tree, and I bought these, gosh, basically lantern stroke chandelier type things, but they're encased by glass, and we had getting the chain over the oak tree branch was hard work, but yeah, eventually you could hook up one of these candles filled, and it looked amazing by night. Looked really pretty. So yeah, these would look lovely, wouldn't they?
They are. I just thought they're quite inexpensive to make, as in, you know, once you've got your kit, you could make, out of this kit, I could have made 3 of these. Yeah. But because obviously the wine bottle took quite a lot of jump rings to make that. So yeah, I could have made 3 of these, definitely. So I've got my 2-in-1 chain, so that's my foundation chain there, okay? And I've finished off with 1 jump ring on either end, because eventually what we're going to do is connect this into a circle to go around the jam jar, or whatever you're going to pop it around. So, if you wanted to just make this into a bracelet, these are where you would have your fasteners on, so your clasp would go on either end of there. So now, like we said before, this is our jump ring sandwich that we're going to make. So we've got our bread, and we're now going to get our filling. So taking one of your 9mm jump rings, what we're going to do is we're going to split this first pair open, so that this ring, in effect, is going to sit in the middle there. If I just sit it onto there, you can see it's going to sit in between those 2 pairs of jump rings and encapsulating the small ring in the middle. So just opening that pair up, and this jump ring doesn't go through any jump rings, it just sits in between each pair. So I've gone through the first pair, it's now going to start to encircle this little jump ring that's sitting up there, and then down through the next pair. So it looks like a floating ring inside there. There we go. So it's like an illusion ring, if you like. Yeah. So that's my first little helm section done. Okay, and then go to the next one. So each double jump ring will have 2 halves of jump rings going through it. Yeah, and it's going through both of those. It goes through both. So once you've got the first one in, the second one goes in a lot easier.
Do you know, I even spotted that.
You did, didn't you? See, and this weave, if you do make a mistake and it goes on the outside or misses the middle, all you have to do is just undo it and just pop it back where it needs to go. You don't have to take the whole thing apart, which is what's so nice about some of these chain maille. Some of the chain maille weaves, you don't see your mistake right to the very end, and then after you finish crying, you start to take it all apart.
Yeah, I was like, no, no, just spent ages doing that. Now, could you maybe use your gorgeous copper?
Yes, you can, yeah.
Because there are only 30 of these, firstly.
Oh, that's nice. I've never seen this.
No, I've not either. It's kind of like in a little, what do you call these, Petri dishes?
Yeah.
Kind of what you used to have in science.
Yeah.
It's not a Petri dish, obviously, but it does house all of your wonderful copper. Oh, you just get the jump rings. Is this one of our dishes? Oh, okay. Sorry, I beg your pardon. But you can do this at home easily. I'm sure they are available in most places.
Like
yeah, what a great idea.
Yeah.
What a great idea to separate all of your lovely copper fine jump rings here. So you have got what sizes? Just getting the information up. Our graphics are just having a little moment because I think these are slightly different dimensions.
Like the
3mm and 6mm. Only the two different sizes. Bear with us for a second just to confirm that.
Yeah, they look, that's what the two sizes are,
3mm and 6mm, so they're just basically dispersed between the two. You get 200 of the 3mm, and how many? 100 of the 6mm. So, right, the 3mm jump ring, we don't see that very often.
No.
And what would you use that for?
So you can't do, with the 3mm jump rings that we sell here at Jewellery Maker, you can't do chain maille with them because they're made on that too thick a wire. So you can't actually get two jump rings in the middle to connect them together, even just into a one-in-one chain. So these are perfect for spacers in your designs. Okay, so if you want to just like do a stretchy bracelet and have these little spaces in between. Now, chain maille's all to do with the internal diameter and the aspect ratio. We don't go into aspect ratio because it frightens a lot of people. It's very mathematical and it can put a lot of people off before they've even tried it.
Scares me, maths.
So what you're looking for is that with the 3mm jump rings, if they were made on a 0.6 or a 0.6 wire, you'd be able to do chain maille with them because the gap in the middle would be a lot bigger. Because these are made on a 0.9 wire, the gap's too small to get two jump rings either side, but they are open, so if you want to use them as spacers and you want to just connect them in afterwards, they are all open.
Ah, there we are, that's a nice idea. So you can add them after?
Yeah, add them after.
That's a good idea.
So you can just, there is lots of designs, chain maille designs, where you do link on lots of jump rings. Say, if I just do this, say, just so you can see, you can add lots of jump rings onto it because they'll go through one jump ring. Yeah. You just haven't got enough room to add another jump ring through.
Else.
So you could do this kind of design with them and put them all onto your 6mm jump rings and sort of like have them like little flowers almost. Then.
Yeah, lovely.
Really beautiful.
Or maybe sort of attach your rondelles to them.
Yeah, you can attach.
Amazing. Just to recap, because it's a bit confusing, we've got here of the 3mm, you're getting how many? 200 and 100 of the 6mm, so I know it looks more like you're getting it the other way around. $5.95 for your bare copper.
And bare copper's just so wonderful because you can colour it.
Yeah.
You can make it different colours really easily.
Just lovely. I think that's you know your neckline piece, your necklace, and you've got those turquoise suspended. You could use a 3mm, couldn't you?
Yeah, to suspend them.
To suspend them. Half the stock is already gone, so that's how popular bare copper is. You can patina it, you can colour it,
you can colour it,
age it.
That's it. You can have a look. If you have a look on the internet, there's lots of things that you've probably got in your kitchen cupboards that will patina copper as well. So you can pop it in a sealed container with a boiled egg, and it will patina it, natural patina. You can pop salt and coffee onto it.
Ooh, what does that do?
So salt will make it like an iridescent, so it goes like more pinks and reds with the salt. With the coffee, it goes more greens and blues.
Wow.
And then you seal it with your Renaissance wax or your sealant of your swelling sealant.
To keep hold of that actual colour. Well done to everybody. It will sell out. It will, without shadow of a doubt. 300 in total you're getting. 100 of the 6mm and 200 of the 3mm, which I haven't seen before actually, I don't think.
They are fabulous sizes to have in your stash as well.
Yeah, I bet. Not just for chain mailers, it can be used for all different...
For all different things,
all different jewellery making. Well done to every single one of you. Do stay there. on those phone lines. Now, just before we go back to the lovely Fleur, we have got shell pearl. Now, we were only saying earlier on, your first kit, there was a strand in there of cultured pearls, which obviously are cultivated, which basically means that they are genuine, same as shell pearls. They are genuine gemstones. However, one has been cultivated, i.e. farmed, as in the mollusk will grow that gemstone in the same way, but it's had, you know, man has actually inserted the mother of pearl bead. With a shell pearl, it's taking pearl, grinding it down to a very fine sort of powder, if you like, and then forming it into a specific shape. Now, the reason why I was referring to the pearl earlier on is because I was like, wow, they're so perfect that I actually thought they were shell pearls. So those of you that do love, and I know we've got Mark here in the building, that do love a perfect round pearl, the best, unless you're well, very lucky and you got that first kit, the best way to get that uniformity, that perfect nacre surface, is to actually buy shell pearl, unless of course you've got very deep pockets.
Yes.
Very deep pockets. But look at this gorgeous bundle. You get 8 strands. I mean, this is so... Oh, it reminds me of a treasure chest at the bottom of the sea.
It is. When you're a little girl and you used to pretend to be a princess.
Yeah.
You can imagine a little girl having all these in a jewellery box.
What do you mean when you're a little girl? I do that now.
Well, I do it now as well, but I didn't want to mention it.
I do that now. Still.
Sit there and go like that.
Still, yeah, look at all my pearls. Yeah, absolutely. They're gorgeous, aren't they? You've got a lovely selection of colours and sizes here. Sort of rich coppery golds, and you've got your yellowy golds. This is my favourite.
That's beautiful, that one, isn't it? I've just been seeing that one there. Some beautiful iridescent colours on them as well.
Yeah, lovely iridescence. Yeah, it's not just the sort of cappuccino tones that you're getting.
No.
You also still have that pearlescence as well. Low in stock though. I only wish I had a bigger quantity just to get the dimensions, Kim. Bear with, because our graphics have been a little bit slow. I think we got 12 mil.
Like an 8 mil, don't they?
10 mil and 8 mil. Yeah, there we go. So that's right. So we've got 8 mil, 10 mil and a 12 mil in what looks like all of the different colours and sizes. So there's your 8 mils in the yellow, there's your 10 mil, there's your 12 mil. So that, yeah, I think that's literally all of the sizes that you're getting in all the different colours. Love it. 8 strands. Stretchy bracelets, I'm thinking.
The best thing about shell pearl that I don't make very many bridal headpieces, but because shell pearl you can spray your hairspray around and your perfume around, it's not going to damage it like a real pearl. And I've just noticed there's a big pile of hair accessories there as well. So if you are making those bridal pieces for the hair for bridesmaids, shell pearl for me is better because it isn't as precious when it comes to like perfumes and hairsprays and that kind of thing.
Absolutely, and you think about, I think that's a really good point, because like bridal, you do tend to then spray after your hair has been done, and obviously throughout the course of the day, I suppose it's going to be tittivated somewhat. Then this is probably the recommendation for that. It's a really good point. Certainly in the hair, anyway. In the hair, where the chemicals that you spray, etc., aren't going to be harmful. I totally agree, and it'll go amazing with the bundle that you've got coming up next as well. Should be £39.60. That's for 8 strands. 8 strands of pearls. Big saving. I love these colours as well.
I think, and like you say, I've got a stretchy bracelet in shell pearl, and it's still, I've made it when I first started watching 4 years ago, and it's still the same colour, and it's none of it scratched or anything. It's fab.
Yeah.
Wow.
But you know, I don't think you could probably say that for many gemstones, especially as a bracelet, many gemstones, because you know you do tend to bang your wrist quite a lot, so you need to make sure that if you're thinking stretchy bracelets like Fleur just mentioned, the gemstone needs to have durability. Well done. £24.95 for 8 strands, but they're the big pearls as well.
So you can make 16 stretchy bracelets and then have lots left over, because you can get 2 out of each one. So you have lots left over then to do your chips and nuggets style bracelets like Mark does on his memory wire. Still have those in between, and these are colours that most people will gravitate to if they don't know who they're buying for, if you don't know the person well enough to say, oh, they love wearing bright colours. These are safe colours.
But also they're going to go with so much, aren't they? You know,
I mean, the bare copper, they go with the bare copper.
Yeah.
Go with beautififully with the jump rings that are in. If I've got a little piece there that I've just made.
Oh yeah, just
really
lay that
beautiful.
across.
Beautiful with those colours there.
Well done. Already over a quarter of the stock is gone, so stay where you are, do check out. Yeah, that works amazing. Yeah. It'll work beautifully with the gold, the silver, everything, wouldn't it? So you could really, all the findings, but also all of your wardrobe.
They sound so lovely. They just sound... You just do your twist and then do the twist.
Do a twist. Do you know what I was just thinking? My friend has got a salon, hair salon, and when I go to her salon, she's very much a gemstone girl as well, and she's got shell pearls wrapped around her chandelier. Looks amazing.
Oh,
look!
Look at that.
Look, I'm not holding it very well.
Beautiful.
But
if you just got some of those very cheap hair slides, you know, the little grippy pins, and just glued one of those onto the end, and then put them into your like bun pins.
Lovely.
Imagine those all around your bun and your hair.
Oh, that'd be fantastic. Over half the stock's gone. Well done. Well done, well done, well done. Okay, we're going to go back to our lovely Fleur. This is, sorry, what did you just call these in the centre?
So these are just like the floating rings. If I hold it up there, you can see that they're actually encapsulated within that weave there. And it's, as you can see on the side, we'll turn it to the side, they just go in between each set of double jump rings, if you like. So they are just like the filling in your sandwich, and it encapsulates that small...
You're making me hungry.
Sorry. So I talk about jam sandwiches. My friend has jam sandwiches with sugar on it.
I don't get the whole peanut butter with jam either. That doesn't... I don't like...
That's an American thing,
I'm not mad on peanut butter anyway. I'll eat it, but I just think...
No, I don't like it.
Why does it stick your mouth together?
I don't know.
I'm just trying to hold a conversation with someone eating a peanut butter sandwich.
Is that what it does?
Yeah.
We don't have it in our house, you see, so I don't know.
Oh, Tom eats it quite a lot. I'm not really a bad peanut butter fan. No. Anyway, sorry, carry on.
Okay, so I've got my helm weave. So this is a traditional helm weave, but like I said, I've only just added one jump ring in the middle. If you wanted to do this for a bracelet and have a pure helm weave, then you just double those little jump rings up. But what I'm going to do now is pop on these little sort of like sections, like Celtic wing sections. So as you can see, where on each double jump ring, where the red jump ring passes through the two, I'm now going to add a jump ring into this bottom section to close all three jump rings together. So all I'm going to do is go through all three of those jump rings. If I just lay it there, and you can see it before I close it up. So all I've done is I've just encapsulated all three jump rings. Okay, so if I just give that a little close, and again I'm just going to have to pick it up because these are quite tough,
stiff.
Quite tough.
Obviously, this is Fleur's using. I keep saying it, but just so for those of you that just tuned in, Fleur uses the big ones for demonstration, so you can see.
So then I'm going to go to my next section that's got three jump rings together, and I'm just going to go through and just add my jump ring through all three of those there, and just close that one up. Okay. And what you're going to do is you're going to go all the way along. So if I just pop another one into here, and I can show you on the piece that I've made up, the demo piece. So move along to the next section of three. So it's wherever these large jump rings are encapsulated, you're just going to like almost squash all three together so that you get little wings on the side that you can then attach to. So you then can bring the weave down into a point, or you can attach your gemstones to it. So I just pop this last one in, and then I'll move on to the actual piece that I've made up. And just close that one up. Okay, so all I've done, if I lift it up, if that's easier, if I just lift it up there, you can see them all just hanging down that way. So you can see them all just hanging down there. And if I just pop this down and get the actual piece that I've made, so you can see it in the correct size, this is what you'll end up with. Okay, so if I just...
So beautiful, that.
So if I just lay it down there, you can see them all attached together. And then what I'm going to do is, if I lift, it's probably easy if I lift it up, because you can see it easier on my skin tone, can't you? What I'm going to do now is, where there's a double jump ring, so where there's a pair of jump rings, I'm going to push the two little wings together. So where there's a pair, push them together, and I'm just going to attach a jump ring through that pair. So again, I'm still using my 7mm jump rings to attach them together and close. And what these are going to act as my little attachments for the bars to go down, so the 4 bars, if you like. So I'm going to go to my next one here. So this is a pair of double jump rings. So I'm going to push both of those together again and add on my open 7mm jump ring. And I know I say it all the time, but it's so much easier if you've got all your jump rings pre-opened or pre-closed before you start.
Yeah, bit of forward planning.
Yeah, so I know it's quite tedious opening and closing jump rings to prepare it all, and it's one of the worst jobs that I don't like doing it, but I just take a couple of hours each day and I just open about 400. And
you do it all in one stint?
Yeah, and then because the joy for me is to make the weaves themselves. Yeah. So I don't want to be able to if I'm learning a weave, because I try and learn at least one weave a week. If I'm learning a weave, what I don't want to do is get halfway through and then realise that I've not got enough open, and I forget the weave quite quickly. I need to do it lots and lots of times before I remember what I'm doing.
That's a really good mentality, Fleur. And that is why you are, I truly think, one of our UK's best demonstrators of chain maille, is because you are constantly looking to progress and learn.
Yeah, I just love learning.
Yeah, that's obvious when you've been watching Fleur and you know Fleur, is that you do like to know stuff.
I can't just be one of those people that say just because I said.
Yeah, just
because that's the way it is. I need to know the ins and outs of everything.
Why? You would get on really well with my other half.
Is he like that as
well?
Oh,
gosh. Well, he's an engineer, so
same,
he has to know why. Yeah, why?
When my washing machine broke down, I took it apart.
Did you?
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't. I'd just go and buy another one.
Yeah, no, I want to know why. Things break now.
Why
Mark
has
just
it
tells
broken?
me to leave it.
Yeah. Oh, see that, and that's incredible. So approximately as well, you're learning hopefully about one a week, you say. Yeah. So gosh, there's loads of weaves.
There's loads of weaves. Yeah, and I try and learn one a week so that I can then perfect it for like a month and then bring it to you, because I couldn't. I have to learn it parrot fashion, if you like.
That's why we love her.
Because there are patterns, I'd hate to show anybody wrong or for anybody not to understand it. So I try and do it 2 or 3 different ways, and then I can try and explain it.
See, we had a conversation the other day in the workshop, didn't we? And we were saying about how jewellery that our guest designers show you, you know, it should be aspirational. You should want to be, gosh, that's amazing. One day I'll be able to. Yeah. That's what we believe. Yeah. And I totally agree with that wholeheartedly. And most definitely, I mean, this is aspirational jewellery, but it's also, you know, jewellery which you'd expect in an establishment.
And it's achievable as well. Yeah. It's not that difficult where, and you know, sometimes I can't do polymer clay. I'd love to be able to do polymer clay, and I aspire to be like Debbie Bulford with her polymer clay, but you know, I need to put the legwork in and actually learn it. I try and do the really advanced stuff before I've learnt just to do the easy stuff. So I'm going to go on Debbie's course and learn how to do polymer clay.
I'll join you on that, because I still keep very basic at polymer clay. I love polymer, but it's quite basic.
And I think all jewellery mediums work lovely together as well.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, I totally agree. Speaking of, so here, I mean, this is great for stash rebuilding. Can I just say, Mark Smith, who's in the building right now, if you're watching right now, Mark, we're about to bring you a huge bundle of memory wire and tiaras and your headbands. So you are getting the 3. You've got 3 different sizes. You have got the two of the large. Is that right? Or is it? You are getting 3. Sorry, you have got all of the colours. I know I haven't got them here in the studio, but you will get the yellow gold, the silver, and also the rose gold. Same as what I've got here in the other. I've got the tiaras. Yeah, they're coming here. So you do get the rose as well in the large size. Then you've got the medium. So these are perfect for bracelets. And there's 10 loops, 360 loops of your medium size. Then you've got the small, which are perfect for rings. There we go. Ah, yes, I can see now. The rose gold is in there, yeah. There we go.
It's like a magic trick.
I feel a bit daft now. I feel a little bit daft. Sorry, my mistake. Sorry, Amelia. There you go. There's the 3 different colours. So there's the 3 different colours of your memory wire. You've also got all of these hair combs. I love making hair combs.
See, I only made a few and I really enjoyed them because I just don't have time to make them, but they are I find them therapeutic.
They are very therapeutic,
and
absolutely.
you can make them nice and uniform.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Mine are more rustic. I can imagine ours would be polar opposite to one another. And you have also got the hair bands as well. Great way of creating sort of fascinator styles. We think about the races and the proms that are coming up. Maybe you've got some little girls in your family that like to wear Alice bands. Get them decorating and making their own. Great for those of you that want to replenish your stash, because these are, you know, essentials really, aren't they?
They are. They really are essentials. It'll always be somebody will ask you to do a headband or a hair comb and you've not got any and there's none on the website and you panic. Yeah. So yeah, they are essentials. Yeah,
100%. Whenever you've got to get these when you see them. As a member of staff, I'm always trying to get hold of more headbands and more hair combs and more memory wire, because, and I know there's one of our lovely Jewellery Maker customers who sells purely memory wire jewellery. It's just a few gemstones actually looped on, and they're lovely. You know, very sort of easy to commission, but and that's absolutely fine because it's a stunning piece of jewellery.
And they do fit a lot of sizes as well. Yeah. Because it stretches as well, so the memory wire will go up quite a few sizes as well.
Fantastic. So your silver, your gold, and also your yellow gold with the headbands, your hair combs, and also the 3 different sizes of your memory wire should be coming your way at £26.55. Like I said, that's a lot of jewellery just there, isn't it? Without your gemstones, there's a lot of jewellery or pieces or articles that you could sell at craft fairs or whatever, or sort of just do for your own enjoyment. £14.95. Wow. Now I'm just trying to think. The last time I actually bought some hair combs, and the last time I actually bought memory wire, I'm sure I bought a big bundle, but I'm sure I paid more than that.
Oh, I didn't see the price.
£14.95. That's 38 pence per component. As a member of staff, I can't buy. In fact, I know what the staff cost is. Hang on a sec. I can't buy those for the staff. This is beating staff cost basically, is what I'm getting at. If you average it down, that's amazing.
And you know the memory wire rings, if you just get 3 loops of it and just pop 1 gemstone, just thread it on and 1 gemstone in the middle, it looks so high end.
It does.
It's fabulous.
Really lovely, absolutely amazing. These are the sort of memory wire rings. And as I said, it's a bit like a slinky, basically. So you can stretch it out, you can cut them to shorten them, and you just literally loop on your faceted gemstones or your round gemstones, either or. And Fleur was saying they are sort of adjustable, but look like so. Looks a lovely piece of jewellery like this. Amazing. Well done. Stay where you are on those phone lines. We're going to go back to the lovely Fleur, who is still amid her jam jar decoration.
Can I just say as well with the memory wire, please don't cut it with your flush cutters.
No.
Use your heavy duty cutters, or if you've got the shears, use the shears, because it's very strong memory wire and it will dent your lovely flush cutters, and then you'll cry too.
Yes, well, we don't want any kids, do we? So
Alice and Terry did it.
Did she?
Yeah.
Well, we don't like that. We don't like Alison crying either.
No,
you can get them off our website. So memory wire cutters, they are made for that purpose because it is toughened, basically, isn't it?
It's just so it keeps its memory.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so
what I've done now is I've taken 4 of the head pins, and what I've done is I've just created 4 little eye loops on. Each one's got an eye loop on either end. So what I would say as well, when you are doing these, if I just pop that down, don't throw these away. Because if you are into your polymer clay, these look brilliant studded into your polymer clay. If you've got a black polymer clay and just studded these into them. So you can see I always cut it, so I've got a little, like I did with the other, little bit of a length there, so you can just pop a little hook on it and then push it into your polymer clay or your resin or whatever, jewellery enamel friendly plastic. They're absolutely fabulous for that. So I've got a little pot of these kind of things.
Yeah, or maybe earring findings as well if you cut them a little bit longer.
Oh yeah, definitely, because they'd be brilliant as your studs. Yeah. So all you need to do is just cut them a little bit longer and then file the edge down. So if you've got any of the jewellery files, or if you've got the large toolkit, there is a file in that in the blue.
Again, available on our website. So
okay. So all I've done is I've attached all 4 to there, and now I'm simply going to take one of my 5mm jump rings and one of my Labradorite that I've popped on a head pin already, and I'm just going to go along and just collect all 4 of the bottom. Can I just lift it up? Sorry, so I can collect them a bit easier. So there's one, and pop them. I know it sounds silly, but pop them on in order, because I did one where it wasn't in order and I couldn't work out why it wasn't sitting properly.
When you mean that, you mean in order of how they actually lay on the chain?
How they lay on the chain, yeah. So don't do what I did and put the 4th one on in the 3rd place. I know it sounds quite simple, but
I know what you mean.
It took me ages to work it out. I kept looking at it going, no, there's something wrong with it.
And because, given the fact, well, the conversation we've just had, I imagine that was really frustrating for you.
Very frustrating, yeah, very frustrating. So what I've got now is I've got my little triangle of all 4 head pins brought down into one point at the bottom, and then I'm going to take another one of my 5mm jump rings and attach on my Labradorite, and it's the weight of the Labradorite then that will pull that jump ring nice and flat. So as you can see at the minute it's sitting face on, if you like, but then the next jump ring will pull it nice and flat. So I'll just take my jump ring and then just go through the bottom, and then just add on your Labradorite, and you can choose whichever size because you've got such a lovely range of Labradorites there. So that's the actual triangle section in the middle that you can see there.
That could be lovely as a neckline piece like that, couldn't it?
Yeah, it'd be beautiful. And then what I did, just to add a little bit more interest to the middle of the triangle, is I took that centre floating jump ring just there in the middle, and I attached another Labradorite to it. So if I just do that quickly, just with another 5mm jump ring. So it does take all 3 sizes, this little design, but you can embellish it with your gemstones however you want. You know, once you've got your foundation chain, if you like, of your chain mail,
embellish until your heart's content.
That's it. You can do whatever you like. And I did think about doing lots of swags of just pearls on it.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
But then I thought, oh no, because I want the pearls for the top of the bottle. So there you go. So that's just one little section of how to do that. And then what I did is when I finished, I just did some 1-in-1 chain and attached all the points of the triangles together. So that's just the 5mm jump rings again on the bottom, just 1-into-1, really simple chainmail weave, and just attach them all together.
1-into-1 is literally like a belcher chain, isn't it?
Yeah,
it is literally like a belcher.
Just 1-into-1, yeah.
Beautiful, love it. I love the fact that you take chain mail, which is very functional. I mean, if you think where it originated from, very functional. But now it's used for adornment. Yeah. Now you're using it in home decoration.
It's still used in the home now. We use it for cooking meats. A lot of top chefs now will cook with stainless steel chainmail over the top instead of tinfoil. Those kind of things. Yeah. We use it in chainsaw trousers.
Why do they do that then?
Because it keeps the juices in the meat and it keeps the heat in the meat. It cooks faster because it's denser metal. So yeah, if you
that's very fancy, isn't it?
A lot of top chefs use surgical steel quality so that it's okay for people to eat meat
with thereafter. Yeah,
we use it for butcher's gloves, and we use it for chainsaw trousers.
Now, I've seen that actually, butcher's gloves.
Yeah.
Obviously, again, protection, isn't it?
Protection.
But it's also so beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. Absolutely amazing. Well done. Now, thank you so much, my lovely. We'll be hearing more from Fleur throughout the course of the morning, but we have got, for those of you that have just tuned in, we have those stunning smoky quartz bars. We're going to squeeze in a few recaps, including over 400 carats of your wonderful smoky quartz, very dramatic. And again, imagine this, Fleur, with that design that you've just created there, where you've got those very lovely elongations, of the bars themselves. When it comes to smoky quartz, you want that rich espresso tone. It's got to be like a really full-bodied, very aromatic coffee. And I love a strong coffee as well. Yeah, everyone in the gallery is like, oh yeah, strong coffee. I do as well. Not very much. I haven't been drinking any caffeine just lately, but yeah, I do love a really lovely. Yeah. Can't drink it.
Oh, I drink too much of it. If I had one of those posh coffee machines, I think I'd be...
We had this conversation the other day, and I'm not generally a coffee drinker, but I love an espresso. Yeah. But I've obviously had to restrict my caffeine intake. But yeah, I'd love a full-bodied cup of espresso right now. Amazing quality, very dramatic in its shape. This is the third time I've brought you this beautiful strand, totally different gemstones each time, and they have all nigh on sold out every single appearance. I don't think this is going to be any different. In actual fact, I think this is going to be the most popular, because smoky quartz is a fantastic alternative to your blacks, because smoky quartz is a very luxurious colour, and it's a very complementary colour. If you think of all the findings it'll go with, think of all the clothing that it'll go with, it just falls effortlessly. Lots of you are choosing to multi-buy, and I don't blame you. For those of you that missed out on this earlier on, we're recapping it because we were able to launch it today in a 277 quantity, but a huge percentage of that already has sold out. Now, the moment I say these next few words, lots of you still got it in your baskets, in actual fact. Don't leave it there. It's in single figure price tags. I mean, for 400 carats of smoky quartz, you would expect this to be, what, 20, 30 pounds? And I'm talking Jewellery Maker, amazing price tag. It's not, it's single figure. So if you want to multi-buy, you absolutely can. We were talking about as well, Fleur, those geometric, you get two of them where they're very 1920s, great for earrings. What you pay for those. I mean, look, this is like a super-sized version. Can you imagine this on the neckline? Imagine this with...
I'm just thinking with the shell pearls.
Oh, the shell pearls.
With all this bundle of beautiful shell pearls that
would look amazing.
They would look, each one of those would go amazingly with it.
There are nearly 50 in baskets. That's pretty much 20% of the stock in baskets straight away. £9.95. I mean, I think it's Linda Brunwell's favourite gemstone. It's certainly one which our guest designers always talk about frequently, just because of its very class. It never goes out of fashion. It complements so many other colours. It looks wonderful just on its own. I mean, it's going to look incredible with your gold-plated findings, your silver findings, your rose gold findings, your antique bronze findings, your copper findings. Very, very dramatic, those shards. But what I was referring to is that it's not just something you can cascade that naturally falls away. You can create fabulous structure, like sort of a New York skyline, couldn't you?
Oh, yes, you could beautifully. I never thought of that. That would be really...
I don't know how you would, how you would incorporate a New York skyline.
You could do it on a tiara.
Yes.
You could have them all stood up on a tiara.
Which, you know... We do follow the Americans, don't we? We do. We're really into the proms now. Never used to be. Proms were never really about when I was in school, back in my day. No, they weren't. We had parties or dances, but it was never a prom. I didn't have a nice big gown.
No, we just had a leavers do.
Yeah, exactly, and people signed your shirt.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly, yeah, that's all you used to do.
Yeah,
signed your shirt.
And you'd burn your tie and things like that. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, you'd probably be a bit more rebellious on the last day. Someone rode a horse through our school on the last day. Yeah, I was like, oh gosh, I would never be that brave. But yeah, you think about sort of tiaras that could be worn to a prom or. Day at the races, something like that. Fabulous. Now, already loads of you with me, lots of you choosing to multi-buy, congratulations. Right the way up to 40 by 5 millimetres, so just one of those. Like earlier on, you saw that adventurine, or maybe you didn't, but just one adventurine in a charm looked absolutely incredible. You could do exactly the same with this as well. Do check out, though, because like I said, we had 277. It was launched today, and I do think it is going to sell out today as well. Now we've got so much more to bring you, more new in opportunities, so please do not go anywhere. More from the gorgeous Fleur, and for me, that's reason enough.
We are live every day from 8 AM to 9 PM, so come and join in and get creating with Jewellery Maker.
as the gem of the sea. Its beautiful blue hues represents the stunning colours of the ocean. It's a member of the beryl family and is closely related to emeralds and morganites. Brazil has been a major supplier for aquamarine. Nowadays we find some beautiful pieces from Zambia, Nigeria, Madagascar and Mozambique.
Did you know that if you go to JewelleryMaker.com and sign up to our mailing list, then you'll receive 10% off your first order with us. We'll also keep you updated with special offers, themed shows, program guides and Jewellery Maker tutorials. Jewellery Maker. Create, wear, share.
Did you know that no matter how many times you purchase with Jewellery Maker in the same day, you'll only be charged one postage and packaging fee?
Join resident designer Sheila for our Bridal Headwear for Beginners DVD. Sheila will guide you through an array of beautiful bridal designs, including a pearl tiara, the star hair comb, a twisted spiral tiara, and much more. This DVD is packed full of inspiration and helpful hints and tips. To get your hands on a copy, contact our call centre on 0800 644 655.
Chrome diopside, which as the name suggests, gets its vivid green colours from chromium. It's not a particularly well-known gemstone. Diopside, or sometimes known as Russian diopside, was first discovered in the early 1800s and derives its name from the Greek words dis and ops, meaning two-faced, in reference to the two ways of orientating the gem before cutting. Diopside is unusual in that it has perfect cleavage in two directions. To see more of this incredible gemstone, stay tuned to us.
Did you know that the Jewellery Maker phone number is free from a UK landline? Now you can spend those extra pennies on more shopping.
Welcome back, everybody. So nice to have your company this morning. My name is Eleanor. Now I'm about to bring you a gemstone that I was first introduced to you only last week. Sugarlight is a gemstone which has got a presence of manganese, which is what determines the colour. And it is an opaque gemstone, so expect to see formations, veining, webbing in many cases, but the most valued would be the most intensely coloured. Now it is a very distinctive purple, and Fleur, you were saying earlier on that you actually thought this was maybe an amethyst strand. Well, that's fantastic, because if Fleur thinks that, then it is some of the best and most valued, because the more definite, the richer the colour is, the more uniform that colour is, the less actual banding that there is within Sugarlight, the more valuable. And it is the most amazing purple, gorgeous gemstone. Oh, it's fabulous. I've never seen anything like it. And then when you get this home, from a distance you think, oh, beautiful purple gemstone, but it's opaque, so it's different. It's a great way of having an alternative to maybe your amethyst. But when you get this home and when you see it really close up, just fascinating. They're like little galaxies, purple galaxies, which just are kind of silvery. There's a silvery-esque sheen running through. Amazing. First time ever that I saw it was last week. And I'm delighted that I can bring you this brand new in strand. You can understand why you thought, or we thought, it was amethyst as a gemstone, because it certainly has that distinct, rich, regal purple colour. And that's fabulous, because that only tells me, from all of the research that I have done on Sugarlight, and again, like I said, the first experience that I had of this gemstone was only last week, so I don't mind saying I did a bit of research. I've got to make sure the information I am giving you is absolutely accurate. And it said, and I quote, highly valued are intense purples with a uniformed colour. I mean, I'm seeing both of those. That entire sentence epitomises this very strand. It was first named as a gemstone in 1944 by Kenichi Sugi, who was a Japanese petrologist, and it is exceedingly rare. So it's not one you'll find in most high streets. It's not one you'll find in most, I don't know, jewellery establishments out there. The rarity for me, and I'm lucky enough to actually have seen many gemstones, not just here at Jewellery Maker, but even when I go out to sort of your museums and do research that way, you don't see Sugarlight very often.
No, I don't think I've ever seen it, apart from when we've had it here last week.
Yeah, did you see those cabochons? Yeah. Amazing, weren't they? Amazing, they were beautiful, but you had the formations running through, and if that was the appeal to you, absolutely incredible. But in reality, what it actually said on my research was you want that uniformed colour for the value of this. 112 carats, brand new strand, 8mm plain round, so a lovely shape, a very wearable gemstone, a very wearable strand as well. Not between. What would you keep it simple?
Yes, I would. Yeah, definitely. I'd probably just put some spacer beads in between there, just to keep it nice and simple, because they are so beautiful. I wouldn't. If I was going to put something with it, then I may put something, I don't know, like a lavender amethyst with it, to show that real depth of colour within there as well. But yeah, definitely, it's a really lovely. And again, if you like gemstones like I do, you know, it's one that you can put in your little collection. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, it's one of those that my mum and dad came round to my, well, they've come round a few times, but when they came round to my house one day, my dad and my mum are both into their gemstones as well, and I got my jewellery collection out for them, and I was showing them all the different gemstones that I've actually got as well, and this is the kind of one where you feel like you can share your knowledge and you can share your wealth, because very few people will actually recognise Sugarlight as a gemstone, and you can say, yeah, it is a gemstone, but it's one of the rarest. That's why you don't see it on the mainstream market. Sugarlight, yeah, you see diamonds, you can see emeralds and rubies and sapphires, but this is not something that is in many establishments. Now, yeah, get on that basis, the rarity, the consistency of colour, the intensity of colour, it is going to be a more considered strand, and unfortunately I haven't got a huge quantity. Use that 30-day money-back guarantee, get it home, especially in natural daylight, so it can really absorb those sun rays, and that's where you'll see that really regal purple, but also that silvery exterior, because it has got quite a, it kind of looks like it's actually coated, but it's not, it's natural. Looks like it's actually got a sort of I don't know, a mystic coating, but no, it's all and you're not seeing that really on screen, so you're just going to have to sort of take my word for it and trust me, get it home, use that 30-day money-back guarantee, and you'll know exactly what I am referring to. Now, bring that price tag in for you, brand new, second time ever that I've brought it to you. It's $64.95 for 112 carats. If you enter Sugarlight Gemstone onto the World Wide Web, it's a fountain of information, a fountain of knowledge. There are certain website which, I mean, I'm not trained to sort of look at the sort of healing side of things. If you believe in all of that, I'm trained to sort of look at, this is a gemstone that, like I said, manganese is what determines the colour, etc., and what you're looking for in terms of the quality. There is websites out there that will actually stipulate exactly what I have just said. 0800 644 655. Lovely to have your company. Yeah, I understand it is a more of a considered price tag, but I mean, we don't have to. It's not just me. We don't see Sugarlight. It's the second time ever that I've brought it to you.
And also as well, a lot of us are in little Facebook groups as well, maybe in our local area. If you're into a beading group or Facebook page or, Facebook groups, why not like go halves with somebody and have, just to try it and see when you get it home, see if you like it, because that's what it, like I say, that's what it's there for, isn't it? And I can guarantee when you get it home, you won't want to send that
100%.
back.
And I think you've got to think about it that you know, at some point, this is actually a newcomer, really, relatively speaking. 1944, it's actually a newcomer to the gemstone world. Wow, $44.95, massive price reduction. It's the only the second time that I've ever brought it to air, and I don't know if it's actually been on your screen since then with any other host. Just an incredible deal. You've got to think about this, and I certainly do. You know, there was a first time that emerald was ever shown. There was a first time that ruby was ever shown. There was a first time that prey bitumen, which is actually just in the 1980s. Look at the prices that it fetches now. Imperial Topaz. Think of all the gemstones. Tanzanite, 1967 when it was first discovered. This is another newcomer, and yes, it's not so well known now, but that's not to say that in the forthcoming future that it won't be.
Yeah, that's it. And you know, if you can stretch to that, you know, I think $44.95
very affordable
for a brand new gemstone that in sizable, workable rounds. Is one on a pendant and then keep the rest away.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
It's fabulous.
I'm going to be getting that because I haven't got sugar light.
I'm not.
First time ever. Second time ever bringing it to you. Oh, this is stunning.
Oh, that's nice.
They're like little diamonds. Well, not little. I should rephrase that sentence. Crystal clear clarity of quartz. Faceted rondelles. I can't remember the last time I've brought you faceted rondelles. I've got a big quantity, and there is going to be a massive, massive price point, as in massively low, I should rephrase. Beautiful eye clean clarity. Absolutely natural. Gemologists will agree, the more crystal clear, the more water-like that clarity is in your wonderful quartz, the more valuable it is. So you do want it to be beautifully dewy, clean, to the naked eye. If you can, get carat weights, and if you can, have the sparkle and fire that you're seeing here. Can you see those occasional flashes of the spectrum? Reds, oranges, yellows and blues. Even in the background you're seeing it. That's because this gemstone, like a diamond, like a zircon, will display fire. So a great alternative. I cannot believe the price that this is going to. It's going to be super affordable. We've got quantity, Kim is saying. Be on those phone lines, even if you don't press your option 1 as of yet. I mean, we're always looking for your colourless gemstones.
I wear one every day with my jadeite. Always wear clear quartz.
I love it.
I think it's a beautiful gemstone, and it does go with absolutely everything. There's nothing that it won't go with. And just this as a stretchy bracelet, and then a pair of earrings. I think if you walked into a room, into an evening, I don't know, dinner party, or just even into the pub, I suppose, people would stop and stare because it would just catch the light and just
and even
dazzle.
the most subtle lighting as well. That's what I love about quality quartz like this. Even if it's sort of candlelight, or maybe you went to one of the balls just recently where they have. They tend to have deliberately a sort of bluish light, which is very, very. What's the word? I don't know, what's the word? It's you know, I've totally gone blank. Where you've got a lovely ambience. There we go. But gemstones like this will just sparkle.
Yeah, they will. Yeah, and in sunlight, they come alive as well.
Yeah.
And you could put it with your smoky quartz if you wanted a more muted monochrome. You could put it with your black spinel if you wanted that pure monochrome look. But like I say, it goes with everything.
So, when you've got quality like this, you do think, you can understand why the brain naturally goes, oh, diamonds, don't you? You do. Because this is what a diamond wants to be. Crystal clear clarity, amazing size, beautifully faceted, sparkle, fire, brilliance. Should be coming your way at £17.95 for all of those beautiful rondelles. Kim's words, I want everybody to get them today. I want everybody to get one of these. I mean, how many occasions are you going to want to include just a couple of those rondelles just to add that little bit of sparkle? $7.95.
Could I be really cheeky and ask to see it with the Labradorite, you know, the blue Labradorite?
You want to see it with the Labradorite? You've got that Labradorite, haven't you?
Just so I can hope that there's some left when I go outside.
There we go, my darling.
Oh, look at that. That is just beautiful.
It really is. Again, with... absolutely amazing. With the black spinel earlier on, with the Imperial Topaz.
Yeah, that Imperial Topaz will... I bet equally as well if you've got any pearls, you know, the shell pearls again.
Pearls from your first kit.
Yeah, I love a pearlescence next to a high sparkle.
This is actually all sold out, so I'm going to have to take that out. The Imperial Topaz might still be available just because you've got a really, really, really high-end gemstone here and high-end clear quartz. Yeah. Just look at that sparkle. I mean, that is... To me, it's like a champagne diamond, that combination. Yeah. And if you got the bundle with all the hair combs and the tiaras, you know, these are perfect for hair accessories as well because they catch the light so wonderfully. Oh, what's that? How about tanzanite with it? Quality tanzanite like this. It's just arrived into the building. The lovely Amelia has just put it before me, so that has arrived brand spanking new, coming your way. Yeah, absolutely. I can't see everybody. Our graphics have actually, or rather, oh, here we go. There we are. I can see you all now. How many are in baskets? That's going to be about 100 people. Check out as soon as you can. And quantity, how many have we got, Kimbo? Okay, massive quantity, so this is why you've got a £10 price reduction. I mean, it's a staple. It's when we say staple, how many times do you need a black gemstone or a clear gemstone? Oh, all the time. All the time when you're making pieces. And it's a fail-safe colour as well. So when people are commissioning a piece or you're giving it as a gift, you know that this is going to go with everybody's skin type, skin tone, colours, hair colours, you know, whatever occasion you're wearing it for, it's gonna go with everything in your wardrobe. I'm just trying to think, you know, standard beading, standard jewellery making, I mean, amazing for your chain mail because they're the rondelles, so you can cascade them like so. Bridal jewellery, they'd be incredible for. Tiaras, hair combs, well, you've just seen an amazing bundle there. With the chain, if you want to do waterfall tassels with one on each of, you know, if you did like about 10 lengths of chain and had 10 on the ends, just like a big waterfall, you know, you could do backless necklaces as well. Yeah, anything. Absolutely endless, and you don't see this clarity every single day. Please don't be suckered into the fact that quartz is an abundant mineral. Yes, it is a mineral. Gem quality like this is only found in a few locations around the world. Well done. I'm keeping that right next to me on my tea bag because I'm not willing to part with that just yet. Moving on to... Oh, I saw this in a kit once. In fact, it was with the lovely Laura, fossilized quartz. Wow, so you will actually see little fossils within the gemstone itself. Have you seen these previously before? I don't think I've seen these ones, no. The first time I did was with Laura Binding the other day. In a kit, I've never sold them individually. They're beautiful. Obviously opaque, so you'll have everyone will be different. And you get lovely fossil imprintations. I don't know what would be the best way to describe. They're like impregnated into the. Yeah. They've been encapsulated within it. Yeah, over millions potentially of years. Fascinating, aren't they? That's what fascinates me about gemstones. Yeah, is where they've come from. Not the beauty of the end product, is where they've actually come from before we've even touched them. And it really makes us think, yeah, that's why gemstones command the prices that they absolutely do. Look at this one, you can actually see a little shell. You can actually see a little shell, well, kind of look, I'm assuming it's a shell, certainly looks like that shape. So every single one will be absolutely unique. Only the second time I'm ever bringing you fossilized quartz. So it is, of course, the gemstone with the fossils within. Again, here's another one. If I show you different shapes, different sizes, it's the carat weight that we guarantee. Can you see that one? If I just turn it round. There we go. Can you see that lovely little shell-like detail there? Oh, they're amazing. They're gorgeous, aren't they? I love them, yeah. Absolutely love them. My boys would love those. Yeah, that's the thing. When you actually look at gemstones like this, not just for girls, when you look at this, it's really, really interesting because, like I said, Tom would love this. My nephew would love this because he's quite into his science and things like that. Yeah, fascinating, and that's good. It's good, don't you think?
Well, it does. It encourages children to want to learn more about where, you know, what creatures maybe could be encapsulated within that, you know, looking back at, you know, history.
Yeah. And eras gone by, and we are talking long gone. Fascinating, well done. Very popular. When if my memory serves me correctly, when we first brought these, or rather I first brought these with Lauren in a kit, they sold out entirely. I don't think this is going to be any different, and she actually included them. I think it was in like cuff style bangles. I'm actually showing you the reverse here, so that's actually a flat side. So it just goes to show that, you know, you can use both sides. Obviously, that's the more domed of the cabochon. I love it. I love it. It's monochrome, but then you get those flashes of browns and caramel tones in there. Very busy. Lots of you on those phone lines. Let's get that price tag in for you. 190 carats for £27.95.
You'd pay that for one in one of those, you know, the bead shops.
Yeah,
you see, you know, seaside shops. Like little mineral shops. You'd pay that just for one.
Yeah, you would. Deb Briggs, hello to you, Deb. Nice to have your company this morning. I have these cabochons. They are so lovely, so fascinating. Mother Nature is a fab lady, isn't she just? Isn't she just? One of a kind, truly is. They are fascinating, and I love getting to know my gems, and I think that's the way I word it. But that you understand what I mean?
No, I do. I think because they're so interesting and so fascinating, and I don't know if you're the same. Sometimes I'll look at a gemstone on the internet, and it can be like 2-3 hours. And I'm going through lots of pages and learnt so much, but you get lost in where that gemstone's come from.
They do.
And what's, I mean, I don't know a lot about what's involved in the chemical compositions to make the colours and that. I just like where they've come from. And,
that you prefer the history of things like that, and how it's actually occurred. That the geological side of it, really, not necessarily the sort of chemicals and things like that. Yeah, absolutely, and each their own. You know, what just happened?
Wow.
They've never been on your screens individually. I've always bought them in a kit, and they sold out at that. You've got 190 carats of beautiful, natural, fossilized quartz. And again, if you don't understand, you can get fossils in anything. Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah. My mum had a big paving slab with lots of fossils in it.
Wow.
It was really
She had
lovely.
a paving slab?
Yeah, we went to near Whitby.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of, because it's like a Jurassic, it's not the Jurassic Coast, but there's lots of, you find lots of fossils and things like that up there. Yeah, and it was a big paving slab. We had it set into our porch.
Wow. That's incredible. Can you imagine? I'd use something like that as a coffee table.
Yeah.
Maybe some glass over the top.
Those, you would be able to chain mail around some of those as well because they're quite nice and slim. They've not got a very high dome, so they'd be perfect for your chain mail if you wanted to have a go at chain mail.
Absolutely incredible. We've got another text message from Belinda. Hello to you. I got these the last time they were on for my boys. They love collecting, and anything with fossils fascinates them. See, that's what I adore. I love that. I love the fact that children are, you know, getting involved not just in crafts, which craft has never been bigger, I don't think. And I'm talking not just jewellery making. You think of all the different channels that are out there, home baking. It's massive right now, which is fantastic that we've joined up with IMC, who are, of course, in my eyes, probably one of the biggest companies in the world for crafting. But yeah, it's great that kids are really interested in things like this. So let's feed that energy. Stay on those phone lines. Well done to every single one of you. Now we have got more star buys coming your way, and there's one after this. Okay. I don't even know if we've managed to get a recording of this in time, because less than 5 minutes ago, Amelia walked this into the studio, placed it on the T-bar next to me. Now, I did hear sort of in the background, in amongst the the live show, discussions that there may be potential of this beautiful gemstone, and it might be included in the morning. However, if it's going on and it's not confirmed, I tend not to register that as of yet. So, I mean, this arrived, Amelia arrived literally minutes. Seconds ago. Now, so this is very, 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 very hot off the press. We've got, just to recap, because I don't know all of this, I would do ordinarily, that's how new it is. How many have we got available? 166. Oh, do I tell everybody where it is, or are we going to jam the phone systems? Right. Bear with me for a minute. I will talk about tanzanite, and I know lots of you already know that, and I know that's why you've already checked out. Web bidders, do they see what I know? Web bidders, you can see what this is going to. Telephone bidders, just to make it fair, it's guaranteed under £20, and I'm not just talking by a few pennies. Be there as soon as you can. There is a very good reason why we, even when there's 166, you think about it, it's not just going to be 166 people calling or on the website. We often have double that, triple that, quadruple that, trying to get involved at any one time. And it has happened in the past with tanzanite, with myself, where we've actually jammed the phone lines and we've even broken the website. It has happened previously. It sounds ridiculous, but it definitely has happened. So deliberately, we'll actually stage an auction. So we'll bring the graphics in nice and early. We'll allow a few of our web bidders to check out. Don't worry, telephone bidders. We will make sure that we bring that price tag in so it is absolutely fair for everybody. And that's why I said we're not just talking a little bit under £20 here. This is a long length of shaded tanzanite. So you do get all of those different beautiful colours. You might go from your quad A down to maybe your double A grade. You might see flashes of pinks, burgundies and secondary blues, because this is one of the most triachroic gemstones on the planet. It forms in a very diverse crystal called an orthorhombic crystal structure, which is why you see those wonderful colours. Already web bidders checking out 166. Fabulous quantity of tanzanite, and I know that, in fact, we all know this. Gosh, can I just stop myself mid-sentence? You know we said shaded tanzanite? I'm just going to single out one. I'm not allowed to say what grade I think it is. We don't grade our tanzanite, but you can do this yourself. Can I? Sorry. Do you see what I mean? Fleur and I are just literally like looking at each other. I had a very unflattering expression, as if to say, what? I kind of went, wow.
Yeah. I've never seen a quad A tanzanite in the flesh to see the colour. I've only seen it on the screen. And I've seen a double A in the flesh, and I would go more of the higher end, lots more A's than I've seen.
Yeah, I have. I've had the privilege and honour of bringing very, very, very high-end tanzanites when I obviously was on our USA channel, what was our USA channel with Gemporia. Like I said, we don't grade our tanzanite here, but that's not to say you're not going to see those grades within a strand like this. I only wish I had a bigger quantity. You know, we know that in the foreseeable future, for the past 5 years here at Jewellery Maker, we have been talking about the rarity, the fact this gemstone will deplete, the fact that the mines are now actually closing. We used to source our tanzanite direct from certain blocks. Now those blocks are no longer in production. That's D block. We used to go direct to an artisanal miner called Money. He's no longer in business just because it's no longer financially viable. And yes, I can bring you tanzanite, and we are right here, right now. But imagine this, and I say it every single time, without doubt, because in my eyes, it's what makes things, you know, makes things clear and think, gosh, this is opportunities that I can't actually I can't even begin to miss. Even if I've already got tanzanite, and believe me, I have. It's the gemstone of new beginnings. It's December's birthstone. I'm buying this for my lovely little niece Poppy, who was born in April, just because I know that Poppy probably won't be able to buy this gemstone when she's old enough. And like I said, children that okay, expecting now, but I wasn't expecting previously, I was buying for then, because there will come a time when we go, okay, tanzanite gone. How are we going to feel at that present moment? Are we going to be thinking, thank goodness I got involved on the 15th of January 2016, or are we going to be thinking, my goodness, I'm really now going to have to invest in this gemstone? 166 originally. It's so hot off the press that it arrived literally minutes ago. You've got definite, distinct, rich, intense graded tanzanite. I can't say what grades I think they are. I'm not allowed to do that, but lean on your own tanzanite knowledge. I know so many of our jewellery makers have got more, and I'm not literally just blowing your trumpets right now. Many of our jewellery makers have got more gem knowledge than, I hate to say this, and I used to be one of those people, mind, before I had the training that I did. You're more knowledgeable than certain gemstone, than certain sales assistants within certain retailers, retailing establishments. I shan't name them, but when I worked in a jewellery establishment and I was selling Cartier, I was selling Gucci jewellery, I was selling I was more educated on watches than I was actually on gemstones. That's absolute fact, because we didn't have the training to the level that we do here now, and hopefully you do feel that we pass that on. So you know that this is going to be, if you can see those wonderful riches of blues, if you can see that it is intensely vanadium strong, you're going to love this price tag. $12.95 for the most exclusive, the lowest price graduated faceted tanzanite strand that we have available. You've got the different shades of blues, and listen, just because they are the smallest shapes and sizes and because they're on a strand like this doesn't mean that they haven't actually come off. And you said this, I think, Fleur, wasn't it? Yeah. And I was like, what a really good point, really good point. There's nothing to say that you imagine lapidarists over in, I don't know, Jaipur. Jaipur is renowned for its gemstone cutting, where, you know, sort of sat around their cutting tables, they would not waste a single trace of this gorgeous gemstone, and rightly so. So if they have an offcut and they can go on then to sort of facet it into a rondelle, fantastic, because that means these sorts of prices are actually possible. So it could have come off, I don't know, a one-of-a-kind piece. It could have come off something that, I don't know, was heading to Tiffany's & Co. I don't know, I'm just literally throwing that out there. But please don't think that because these are on a strand rather than set into gold or platinum, that they are not of the same incredible high-end value. Tons of you there, and again, over 50 of you with it in your baskets. Well done to you, Manchester, Christine, Sarah, Elizabeth, Patricia, Berkshire, hello to you. London, Linda, hello to you. Marilyn, Mid-Glamorgan, Teresa, Jane, Susan, Dawn, Elizabeth, Susan, Sandra, Hampshire, another Susan, Linda in West Midlands, hello to you. Persis, hello to you. Rebecca, Surrey, Jennifer, Susan, Kathy, Sue, hello to you. Marianne, Dawn, Dorothy, another Marilyn, Catherine, Sylvia. There's so many of you on those phone lines. Let's hold this out. I mean, what do you think, Fleur? I know that you are an investor of gemstones as well. You do buy your gemstones. Do you agree with me? We can't pass up opportunities like this.
I remember when tanzanite chips were that price. I was over the moon. I got a tanzanite chip strand, albeit it was a double strand, but they were chips, and I think I paid $12.95 for that strand. But yeah, like I say, it's still tanzanite. It doesn't matter in what form it is. It's like having a really luxury car brand that's got a middle of the road range as well. They're exactly the same car. It's just got different,
absolutely
adornments on it, if you like. I mean, my husband works in a different car industry, and their top car is exactly the same as their middle car, as in the floor and everything else. It's just that it's got leather seats,
the mod cons,
all the other bits, and it's exactly the same car underneath. And I was shocked, and it's exactly the same as this.
Of course it is.
It is tanzanite. It's not.
But you've got some of the top colours in there. You really have. I mean, when you get this home, I'm seeing very rich blues. Is it going to be a sellout, Kimbo? Yeah. Yeah, we'll recap a little bit later on, but again, I am looking at rows upon rows upon rows of you. Massive heartfelt congratulations. I need to move on because there is more new ins to bring you. So whilst you're on those phone lines, please check out. If you've got your heart set on owning that, then make those confirmations, because otherwise you're going to find yourself sorely disappointed, and I don't want that. Shall we stick to one of your absolute favourites? I mean, I in my entire career of working with gemstones, do you know how many people who I've spoken to that, and this is an easier question, ask me how many people I have ever spoken to that don't love tanzanite? One. One person, and that person, I was like, what? I kind of argued it to a certain degree. I was like, what do you mean you don't like it? What do you mean? It's a bit like, yeah, people who don't like jam. Don't like Marmite and things. No. Fleur's face. No. Do you understand? I was kind of like, what do you mean you don't love tanzanite? It's kind of one of those like, really? Anyway, same applies with this gemstone. I think there's more jewellery makers out there that, in fact, we know there is, that absolutely adore and are in love with this gemstone. I think there's a very, very, very tiny minority across the world that don't find this gemstone absolutely compelling and fascinating. It's natural. It displays amazing optical effects, and you can see from a distance, and I'm showing Fleur there just for a second, look, flashes coming through. You can see in camera one actually, can't you? The flashes of labradescence, the quality that we have of labradorite here at Jewellery Maker just seems to be getting better and better and better. It is all down to look at those greens. Look how intense those greens are. Look at those wonderful blues and golds. The more labradescence that there is in this strand, or this gemstone rather, the more valuable the gem absolutely is. Head of our design team, when we were part of TGGC, answered, she was on, Sarah Bennett I'm referring to, she was on a Q&A on social media, and one of the questions I thought was a fantastic question, what gemstone would you be buying right now? And she actually surprised me, to be honest, because she could have mentioned any, couldn't she? I mean, she was talking about Gemporia as a brand. She could have said, you know, oh, Papadacha Sapphire, I'd buy that. Burmese ruby or something like that. She said labradorite, because labradorite, which is of this quality, is very difficult to get hold of and very sought after because it is so wonderfully visual. Brand new Premier Star by Opportunity. There's 104 of these available, and it should be £9.95. That no labradorite should be £9.95. Let alone this quality. If I was to adopt that grading system like tanzanite, this to me would be, you know, your triple, your quad A grade. Yeah. Do you agree? And it's £6.95. Wowzers. No brainer, add it to your order. If you've got £6.95 spare, I think this is the best £16.95 you could spend.
And I think labradorite, for me, is one of the only gemstones that looks just as beautiful faceted and unfaceted.
Yeah.
Because sometimes gemstones need facets to make them more beautiful.
Yeah, I agree.
Labradorite for me is the only one of the few that looks just as beautiful unfaceted as it does faceted.
I agree. Loads of you there. Again, it's brand new. We're going right the way up to 9x4mm in their size, and you can really see that optical effect gliding across. You know, I won't go back into the sort of the lightning and the storm, but it has got that wonderful property, I suppose. The more labradescence, the more performance of light internally in this natural gemstone, which can be sourced in different locations around the world. That's what you look for. And I know that so many of our jewellery makers must be thinking, I know this gemstone, I know it inside out. There's nothing you can teach me about it, Eleanor, that I don't already know, which is fantastic. I love that, that you are so knowledgeable. And therefore, when you saw this strand on the very first moment it came to screen, you can switch me off if you want for a second. You can turn me on to mute, just dial through. That's got to be your main focal point. The fact that the quality here and the price tag. Have we got quantity of this, Kimbo? Okay, big quantity. So if you're only just thinking, only just tuned in, only just sort of dialed and realised the quality that's on your screen, you can still do it. I'm going to recap it a little bit later on. We've got all over the world getting involved. Hello to you, Rachel in Belgium, Tidville, Wiltshire, Bedfordshire, Isle of Wight. Hello to you, Oklahoma. Nice to have your company up and down the UK. So nice to be with you. Stay where you are on those phone lines. Moving on, sterling silver, I think on the back of your Sugarlight, on the back of your Imperial Topaz, on the back of your Tanzanite, on the back of that Labradorite that you've just seen, you need to have sterling silver, don't you? That's my opinion. And try not to drop them, like me. You get 2 packs. 2 packs of solid sterling silver with my favourite link bracelet. It's the heart one. This is so beautiful. 2 packs of solid sterling silver. So you get 90 pieces. I'll pop my hand underneath there so you can lift it ever so slightly. 90 pieces of solid precious metal, which includes your head pins. You get 15 of those. Well, actually you get 30 of those. So obviously everything's doubled. Then you get your crimp covers, then you get your crimps, you get your shepherd hooks, you get your heart chain, you get your lobster clasps, you get your jump rings, and also your toggle clasps. But everything is doubled by the fact that you are getting 2 findings packs. Now, we don't get to bring you sterling silver findings very often, and to my knowledge, we're not meant to actually sort of give it at a price slash, but we often do. And I think that's going to happen right now. The openness of that chain, can you see those hearts, which are very romantic, perfect for next month, you know, it's one of the sort of St. Valentine's Day, which is coming up, so those of you that are hopeless romantics like myself. Are you a bit of a romantic?
I am, yeah, I am. Yeah.
I just think there's no, I mean, I don't believe that any one day should, you know, you've got to save your expression of love for any one day. But I think it's a nice, it's not a bad thing, is it?
No, it's not. No, it's not. I buy into it all. I love it.
And me. It's the one day where I actually think, don't buy flowers, because flowers, they die, and they're so expensive on that.
Yeah, everything's a bit more expensive on that day.
Yeah, so I'm always like, no, buy me flowers the next day if you want to, but
you do get some really good of those meal deals around that time.
Yes, you do.
Good meal deals.
For all of those hopeless romantics out there, yeah, if anything, sterling silver, attach a toggle clasp, attach a jump ring, and you've got a piece of jewellery that's going to last an eternity. 90 pieces in total. Oh, I love that. Kim has just said, I'd love it if Phil made me a bracelet for Valentine's Day. Phil! Oh.
We can arrange that.
We can sort that.
Quick course on, I think Phil's done a course actually on.
Do you know what we should do? Do you know what we should do? Is Phil doing a course?
I think he's done one actually. I'm sure he did the Linda's course. I'm sure he has.
Do you know what we should do? Is get all the men in, all the partners in to do jewellery, to make jewellery. That would be quite funny. Can you imagine?
My friend does that. My friend makes corsets, and she has a gentleman's evening of how to pop your lady into a corset. And they're outside, not underwear corsets, you know, like what you wear. And she, and they just go, oh, can you box it? I'll buy it. And then, but it's great because I think men should learn things like that.
Yes.
And how to make your lady a beautiful bracelet or necklace or earrings.
I think that would be a really good, don't you? I think that would be a really good workshop. Something for all the fellas to come, well, not just fellas, partners to come along and learn, maybe, because I know that Tom wouldn't know where to begin. So the absolute basics.
Do you know, there was a gentleman when we were at the old studio who brought his wife on the Sunday experience, and he sat in the corner and started painting. He was drawing something, and by the end of the show, he was making jewellery because he was so...
I love that.
He was like, oh, what are you doing? And I can't remember who was in the Sunday, I think it was Hannah. I said, oh, why don't you have a quick go? And I came in to go on the mid-show, and he was there making jewellery.
But how much more sentiment is it that somebody's made something for you?
And it's like when your children make you a card, isn't it? It's that kind of, someone's taken the time to make it. Yeah. And that's what's so fabulous.
It's the sentiment, isn't it? Sorry, I've just gone on completely on a tangent, just because I think, you know, that would be really nice. And I agree, Kimbo. Phil, you need to make... I'll sort him out. I'll make sure he does, Kim, for Valentine's Day. Well, mind you can't complain. He's just brought you back from Paris. But you want the silver bracelet too. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Let's bring that price tag in. And you know what? At this bundle deal, he can absolutely do that. £25.90 is where we should be for 2 of your sterling silver findings packs. Not just bracelets. I know I've been referring to it, but you can make so many pieces of jewellery, earrings. You saw the head pins actually being transferred into a clasp earlier on with the lovely Fleur. That's 19 pence per finding. £17.95 for solid sterling silver. All 925 stamped.
And when I make a piece of sterling silver jewellery, if it's got a clasp on it, I always add on between £5 and £10, depending on how, you know, if it's a substantial toggle clasp. If that beaded bracelet was £20 with a sterling silver clasp, it'd be £30.
Yeah, I think because we naturally understand that it is going to cost that bit more because it is a precious metal. It has to be mined the same way that a gemstone has to be mined. Well, not you know what I mean. Actually sourced. So to be price slashing sterling silver is not something that we ordinarily do. And again, if you were to just take one of those, I don't know, a lobster claw, one of the jump rings, attach it together, very straightforward and easy to do. Again, our toolkits are available on our website. You'd surely retail it at more than £17.95.
Yeah, definitely.
And then you've got all of those other finds. You've used 3 out of the 90.
Yeah, you would definitely charge quite a lot for that little bracelet. Yeah,
I hope so.
And then with a little charm on there as well, a Labradorite charm, or, you know, if you're lucky enough to get the sugar light, you can imagine a sugar light charm just onto the middle of that.
So beautiful. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Well done. Well done to every single one of you. Right, I'll be speaking to Phil. I hope you're watching. If not, don't worry, I've got your back. I'll sort you out later. Now, earlier on this morning, and I just brought it onto air just previously, the most affordable way of purchasing your chains. Normally, when I see the actual 10-metre spools of chain, they're tiny, tiny quantities. We had over 200 of these available, and had. Past tense. Loads of you have got involved already. I just imagine those of you that have got like maybe an area within your home, not necessarily a specific workshop, but an area within your home where you do all your crafting and your jewellery making. I'm just imagining these sort of across sort of a length of string, maybe attached, suspended above a desk somewhere, and these just sort of hanging. Do you just do something like that?
Yeah.
And you can pull off the length that you want.
Yep. Just put a little dowel through them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little dowel?
Yeah, you know, like a little wooden, even just like a wooden spoon or something.
Wooden spoon? Yeah, absolutely. I was like string.
Yeah.
See, I love that.
String, yeah.
String was, I was thinking, just a bit of string and attach it, like so, either side, bit of wire cord.
You put the chain through it.
You can put the chain through it, absolutely. And it's quite an open link. We had over 200 of these, and how many have gone already, Kimbo? 150 have sold already, but we had over 200, so there is still a few opportunities, and that's usually less, well, still more than the quantity that I usually can bring to air. 4x3 millimeters. So quite an open link of curb chain, and that means you can attach to it. You can, if you wanted to maybe replicate our sort of cluster rosary links.
Yeah, definitely. The more open the link, the more you can use it as an extender chain, because your lobster claw clasp, your bolt ring clasp will clip into it, so you use it as your extender. You can attach jump rings into it to like pop lots of chains together if you like, so you can like group it up and have like swags of chain and connect it together with jump rings, or like you say, make one of our cluster chains with a larger rondelle.
Absolutely amazing. Well done. 10 metres already, 10 metres that you're getting here, and already well over 150 of these have gone. Price tag is going to shock you. It's less than 70 pence per metre. So a metre of chain, and I'll hold that out for you, approximately an arm's length. You're going to easily get 2 necklaces and a bracelet. If you're thinking about bracelets, then let's double that over. Yeah, just do bracelets. It's going to go a very long way. At least 4. And they're long length bracelets.
Do you know what you could do with it as well? Get your shoes, your plain black shoes, and with your hyper cement glue, your precision glue, you could glue chain all over your shoes to make them really designer, and your handbags. So you could adorn your accessories with it as well.
That's a nice idea. That's a really lovely idea. And actually, I went on to particular online retailers, you know, one of the big ones, begins with an A. Anyway, and they had sort of shoe necklaces, I suppose, for want of a better description, which you should just sort of hang over the actual shoe itself. And it was chains like this, looped together, 30 quid.
Lots and lots of little charms all around them, and they, like I say, they sit around the top of the shoe. Yeah.
And look lovely, they do look lovely, but I mean, you wouldn't pay £6.95 for it, and it's used less than a metre of chain, without shadow of a doubt. Again, so many of you getting involved, lovely to be with you, multi-buy until your heart's content. Have we still got quantity, Kim? Still a few left. I can't quite see you all, but do stay there. Do stay where you are. Amazing. Now, we've got more time. We've got more coming your way. We've got beautiful gemstone strands coming up in the midday hour. And also, more from the lovely Fleur. But right now, it's time for your moment. Your moment where you see the incredible pieces that you have sent in to us, which we're ever so grateful for here at Jewellery Maker. It is the Wall of Fame. Love the Wall of Fame. We've got some lovely pieces and all different shapes and sizes, which we've seen throughout the course of... Oh, what was that?
Look. I know. Isn't it stunning?
Amazing. Shall I start? Yeah. I'll start. I've got the Panettone. Oh, we've both got the Panettone colours of 2016. Yeah. Number 212. It's a lovely suite of jewellery which comes from Abby Marsden. Hello to you, Abby. And she says, hi guys, I've been asked to send this picture in by my hero Fleur.
I did. I said to send it in because it's so beautiful.
I love the fact that you're a hero. I love that. Yeah. It's 3 different coloured rings and pink quartz, all from JM. I've never sent anything into the Wall of Fame before, so I'm so very nervous. Oh, bless you. If at all possible, could you show it on Fleur's show on Friday morning? Here we go. As I'd love to prove to her that I've done it. My fingers are crossed for you to show it. Thank you so much. Thanks also for the great channel. I've learned loads and spent way too much. Just don't tell the hubby. Here's to a very happy 2016 and lots of learning. And that's love and best wishes from Abby Marsden. What a lovely message, Abby. And you know what? I'm so glad. It really is. Those. Yeah. What links this? Forgive my ignorance here.
It's the Byzantine.
It's the Byzantine,
and then she's done the beautiful flower at the top as well with the jump rings.
Love it.
Abby, you've got to send one in every week.
Every week?
Every week.
Without fail.
Because your jewellery is beautiful. And she's a wonderful person as well. She's so supportive.
Certainly sounds
Thank you, Abby.
212, Abby.
Okay, I've got number 213 and just a stunning bracelet. And this is from Jewellery Parker. And it says, hi all, I hope you like this. Oh, it's a necklace, sorry. Necklace, which I named Seathwaite Blue after the clear waters of Seathwaite Tarn in the Lake District. It's a combination of colour-coated quartz with shell pearls and silver-plated spacers. Good luck to all, and that's Jewellery Parker. Julie, that is just stunning. Isn't that beautiful colours?
Yeah.
Really
amazing.
Serene, really beautiful. And
I love the fact that, Julie, you've deliberately kept it all about the gemstones and that. So.
And that you've named your pieces as well, because I like that.
That's lovely too. I used to be part of that one with on the sister channels. 214. Oh,
that's nice.
It really is. Comes from Claire Evans in Bridgend. Hello to you, Claire. My latest creation for this week's Wall of Fame. It is a commissioned piece made from gorgeous Labradorite from JM, which is incredible. Thank you for providing such amazing quality Labradorite. These are finished with 925 sterling silver hearts. Thanks from my stash. And findings from JM. She loves it. Whoop whoop. Thank you to all at JM for the most beautiful gems and all of the inspiration and fabulous shows. Good luck. And that's Claire Evans in Bridgend. Wow, I'm sure she does love it. I would too. Beautiful.
And Labradorite again.
Yeah, Labradorite and those hearts.
Gorgeous.
Stunning.
Finished off so beautifully as well.
Really is. 214.
This is a absolutely beautiful necklace, 215, and this is from D, and it says, hi all at JM Land, Here's my entry for this week. It's a cognac amber and sterling silver necklace that I made just for me. I love the Stardust spaces as I think they really show off the amber. I took it to my local jewellers and they valued it at £90.
Wow.
I don't blame them. It's amazing, and that's it doesn't say where you're from, Day, but that's absolutely beautiful. And good on you for going and getting it valued.
Absolutely.
You now know you've got an amazing heirloom piece of jewellery.
Exactly, and I know we keep saying it. I know it frustrates some people, but it's true.
Yeah.
It is absolutely true. Some more incredible chain mail work here. Look at this.
Viking knit, that one.
Oh, is it Viking knit? I was only saying with it is very neat. Yeah. With Laura the other day that there is similarities in the appearance.
Yeah, it's historic. It's historic. Vikings use this as currency.
Ah, see, she knows it all. No, you know it all. You're just you're clever. Not only are you a flame head temptress, you're really clever. This comes from Deb Briggs, one of our lovely ladies that we know well here at Jewellery Maker. Hello to you, Deb in Coventry. Hi all, please find attached my entry to this week's Wall of Fame. Nearly 4 hours later, I've made myself a sterling silver plated copper wire Viking knit bracelet, which has been finished off with 2 Labradorite beads and a sterling silver plated copper S-hook. All from JM. I hope you like it. Lots of love, and that's Deb Briggs in Coventry. Lovely, Deb. We adore it. Yeah, and like I said, it's that neat. I thought it was chain mail.
Deb's my bead sister.
Your bead sister?
Yeah, we went out quite a few years ago.
I feel like you need to do that.
Yeah, and somebody thought we were sisters. So Deb's a lot younger than me, but I was like, yeah, we could be twins.
Love that.
She's my bead sister.
I love that. I love that. I could, as long as you do that.
Yeah, I can't do that though.
Oh.
I'm just not that cool, really.
I think I'm uncool, the fact that I'm doing that.
No, I think that the fact that you can do it, physically do it.
I don't actually do it. We've got so much more to bring you throughout the course of the next hour. We've got star buys, more star buys coming your way. Don't forget to make those confirmations on the web, and any of you that were shopping with us on the phone lines, maybe you've been interested but still sat on the fence, use that 30-day money-back guarantee. Now, Fleur, are you with me in the next hour? Yeah. Fantastic. So she's not going anywhere. We're going to keep hold of her. Not letting her out the studios as of yet. But more bundles, more JM deals, more banter. It tends to be the last hour that we tend to lose the plot.
Yeah,
see, you knew straight away what I was on about then.
Yes.
When you've been talking 4 hours solid, it does tend to happen, and there's full potential. I think bumblebees one day, then there was...
They could be laughter.
Could be,
Bumblebees
could be. Silliness,
come back,
jam, that's all been covered after this.